Hello. Hello. I
Mhm.
am so excited. Campaign 3. Oh boy. This is Dustfire Media. I am Justin, I don't even know what to call myself anymore because I'm not the only GM. I'm the main GM. I don't know if that's
You're
a
the
fair
guy.
title.
You're
The guy.
You're the guy.
The guy. And we've been playing Avatar Legends since the Quick Start came out. We had a campaign that went on for 2 years. We had a second campaign, and now we're starting a third campaign. I'm joined by some other players. I'm a player as well too this time, so I'm gonna let them introduce themselves, and then we'll save our illustrious GM for the end. Who wants to say hello first?
I'll say hello.
Who's that? She's back.
Could it be?
I'm Monroe. I started my very first tabletop role-playing game playing Liko in the first campaign of Avatar Legends. That was really fun, really dark at times, but it was okay. Learned. Hopefully this one's a little bit more brighter. We'll see.
Yeah, maybe. Who
We'll
knows?
see.
Danny will
Yeah,
put us.
I'm
Danny
glad
will
to be
put us
back.
to the ringer. I'm sure he'll force us to make dark choices.
Nah. It's all sunshine and rainbows with Daniel. Yeah, I'm Nick Copeland. I've been around. I played Che in our first Avatar campaign, and that was a lot of fun. Che was a lot of fun.
You play Havoc in our Scum and Villainy campaign.
I play Gears.
Gears.
In our
So sorry. I'm so sorry.
It's been a while.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
What's going on? My name is Sam. I'm a new player here at Dustfire, and I played Avatar Legends since it came out on Kickstarter. I didn't know what I was getting into. I pledged. I thought I was going to get a board game. Very, very different experience.
It's kind of like an infinite board game.
I think I was so excited. I saw the word tabletop, and I was like, I'm in.
There you go. You saw the words tabletop and Avatar, and you were like, oh, you can't go wrong.
Sam, have you played other tabletop games before, or is like Avatar Legends the first?
This is the first. I tried for many years unsuccessfully to rope my friends into some D20 games.
Sure.
That didn't work. So I had some kids, and now they play a system with me, which is called Sodalitas, and it's real nice for kids.
Okay. All right. We'll have to swap kid games. I've got a couple of that I play with too, but I'm always looking for kid TTRPGs. That's all the players. Who's our GM?
Hi, I'm Danny, and I'm going to be the GM for our third campaign for Avatar Legends. I played as Rozak Launcher in the first campaign, and I played as Jing Min in our second Avatar Legends campaign. And after 2 campaigns of playing, I was like, you know what, Justin? I think I'm ready.
I want to crash the train.
I want to crash a train. I want to lead the TPK. So now I'm here.
You do play Havoc in our Scum and Villainy
I
campaign.
do play Havoc in the Scum and Villainy campaign.
I think I was looking at Danny when I was talking to Nick, which is why I said
yeah.
It's hard not to look at Danny. I understand.
It's true. It's true. I think we got to get into it. We're doing character creation today. If you've read the rule book, it's really important to do it together as a group because you're creating the inciting incident that brings your characters together. And then you kind of get it's kind of like a writer's room almost of like sketching out your characters together, which I think is super fun. I'm going to turn it over to Danny in just a moment. I will say we might do character creation a little bit differently than other people. We might do character creation just a little bit differently from other people. We're going to do the inciting incident, and then Monroe actually has to get to work. So we're going to make sure that Monroe creates her character for sure, and then the rest of us will create our characters as well. So I'm going to hand it over to Danny. Danny,
Hello.
Lead us on this train wreck.
Yeah, what am I supposed to do?
I'm so excited. I'm so excited.
I don't know what to
I'm so excited. First of all, this campaign in particular is incredibly exciting because we have some returning faces, we have some brand new faces, and I'm so excited to get into this. Hey Justin, do you think you can turn down the music just a tad?
No, I can only turn it up.
All right, in that case, just blast it.
Yeah, I turned it down.
Awesome. Yeah. All right. But yes, let's get into the inciting incident. So we've already chosen an era, sort of off camera as a group, and the era we chose was a Kyoshi era. So it takes place right after the novel The Shadow of Kyoshi, and so the four nations are kind of in this like sort of sticky situation right now, kind of, right? There's some power vacuums going on, bandits are roaming around, there's these splinter fleets of an old powerful pirate organization that's kind of roaming the seas. It's a very interesting time. It's a very morally gray time in the four nations, and so very excited to get into that. But I think the first thing we need to choose is the scope of our campaign. There are two kind of options. You can choose a broad scope or a narrow scope, and what that just means is the what kind of area or region of the four nations we're going to focus on during the campaign. So if we were to choose a broad scope, it could be anything ranging from the Earth Kingdom to the entirety of the four nations. If we choose like a narrow scope, it could be like a city within one of the four nations. It could be a city in the Fire Nation. It could be Ba Sing Se. It could be like a region surrounding one of the air temples. I definitely have a leaning, but I also want to hear what y'all have to say about this.
I too have a leaning.
Where are we leaning?
So in the discussion for choosing this era, I really was attracted to the Kyoshi era because there wasn't a lot of, I mean, we know about it through the novels, but again, it felt a little bit wider to be able to play sort of before a lot of the actual canon stuff that came with the shows. So I'm leaning broad so that we can do a little exploring.
Yeah, see a bit more of this world and time.
I'm
into that.
That's where I'm leaning as well.
My initial thought was narrow for one reason, which is that we've seen, I feel like, a broad scope in both campaigns. You could argue Relics is a narrow scope because it's just in Republic City, but Republic City is still a pretty big place, I would argue. There's a part of me that wants to one day, it doesn't have to be this campaign, but one day wants to do like your typical like small Earth Kingdom town, and the whole campaign takes place in that small Earth Kingdom town. But maybe it's not this campaign. So if everyone wants to do broad, I'm on board. I got to get to the Fire Nation at some point in this campaign. So
see, that's the thing, right? All our characters are gonna have places you want to go.
I mean, the thing is that like just because you choose the scope as narrow doesn't mean you can't travel.
Exactly.
It just means that the crux of the issues are centered around your local community, this local place.
Mm-hmm.
I'm fine with broad though.
Yeah. Monroe, do you have any input?
No, I'm good anywhere. I just want to get to playing.
Like, yeah, broad, come on.
All right. Let's
do it. Broad. All right. So we'll be playing in a broad scope. We might start in like a town or something, but who knows? Who knows where this inciting incident will take us?
It's true.
Next we have to choose a group focus, and there are 6 options here. I actually sent them in our little private chat here.
Now I have a question for this. Does this inciting incident, does it need to be linked to the larger campaign, or this is just like a meet cute for all of our characters?
That's the meat unit.
It's
Yeah,
both.
yeah. Hmm.
It's both. I mean, this is essentially us creating the pilot episode of our Avatar
Exactly.
show, right? So like
Mhm.
in the first episode of Avatar: The Last Airbender, you get the like Avatar's missing. Oh no, he's back. He needs to learn the elements, and then we kick off the show, right? So like this inciting incident will be the impetus for whatever situation we're moving into.
Yeah. So the 6 options for a group focus is either to defeat a dangerous foe, to protect a place, idea, culture, person, or thing, to change a culture, society, place, or person, to deliver either a person or a thing to some sort of place, culture, or other person, or to rescue someone or something, or to learn either an idea, a culture, a training, or a history. And the sort of titles of these focuses are purposefully not really specific because the specificities are up to us, right? This is sort of just getting started with what that pilot episode is all about.
I'm leaning towards 3 of those, which is
Mhm.
to rescue or to deliver or to protect.
All right.
Deliver stood out to me as well too. And there was a reason it did, and I'm looking up the Kyoshi era like timeline. Because I'm trying to there's like a really notable moment when like all the Earth Sages die, or like a lot of Earth Sages die.
Yeah.
And
Sort of all of the Earth stage's power.
my mind immediately went to like, what if we have to deliver an Earth Sage? Because like the king, people are like killing Earth Sages.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
I'm thinking like with the Kyoshi era, change might be something a little bit too, because there's something after that. You know what I mean? So it's like,
Yeah.
it's just not impossible. It's just really complicated as a group.
Hmm.
But you know, I'm up for the challenge too.
I like the idea of protecting or rescuing. I like the idea of intervening in an event that needs attention. It's so urgent that to stand by would be the wrong thing to do. So those are the ones that are jumping out from the ones that Monroe put out there.
Nick, do you have any input?
I like this Earth Sage. I like where this is going. Yeah, I'm not sure delivering. I don't know. Maybe it's just protecting, like more straightforward.
Yeah.
I'm down with that because it's not.
Yeah.
It's in the Roku era that the Earth King like makes the Earth Sages disappear. There's just like there's just a moment in there's a Earth Sage who basically poisons a bunch of other Earth Sages to get them
spoilers.
Out. I mean, there's gonna be spoilers. There's gonna be spoilers. It's in the core rulebook, and we're playing in the Kyoshi era. It's unavoidable. So
no, I definitely started the Kyoshi book, and you know, I'm about a solid 20 pages in with like a perma bookmark, being like, I'm gonna get to you. I really am.
Eventually.
Justin, what you're talking about did happen in the Kyoshi era.
The poisoning of the Earth Sages, but it's not. Yeah. There's another event in the Roku era.
Oh, I see.
Where like one day the Earth Sages are just all gone.
Oh gosh. Okay.
And that's what I was.
No, the Earth Sages are definitely still around.
It could still be interesting if we're like, I don't know, tasked by an Earth Sage as like his retinue or something to do something.
Well, yeah, we could not be the ones delivering something. He could be delivering something, right? A relic or important information.
So it's to protect him.
Yeah. And the Earth Sage's numbers are so dwindled right now in the point of time that we're in right now that also could And something I wanted to say too, what's really cool about these group focuses is they could easily sort of overlap in somewhat of like a Venn diagram, right? Like if you're delivering someone to something, to somewhere, inevitably you're going to have to protect them, right? Or protect that thing that you're delivering, right? So those two kind of coincide, right? If you're trying to defeat a dangerous foe, in turn, you might be also trying to change whatever society he has influence over, right? So these could easily, these focuses could easily connect, right?
Yeah, I kind of like. I like that. I like that. I like protecting an Earth Sage on like almost like a diplomatic political mission.
All right. Is everyone sort of vibing with that as well?
Yeah, I like that because again, like that Earthgate Sage could be anywhere.
Yeah.
And so you can drop this Earth Sage on a diplomatic mission to wherever, and then we'd be there too.
Exactly. So here for focus, I have protect an Earth Sage on a diplomatic mission, and we don't.
Should we name them?
Yeah. You know what? I am going to pull up name generators because that will be very useful for us. Anyone have anything in mind right off the bat for the name of this Earth Sage?
How about Fung?
Fung?
Earth Sage.
I like that. I like that. Protect an Earth Sage named Fung on a diplomatic mission. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
Nothing. I just...
Okay. All right. Now we're sort of going to divide this inciting incident, this pilot episode we're creating, into 3 different acts. And each of those acts is going to have different scenes or important situations that lead into the next act. So I'm going to send those in our little private chat as well. It is difficult to highlight this. Here we go.
We should all be thinking about what that political mission is.
Oh, I was trying to figure out how to make a fungi joke.
That's fair too. Yeah, think about that as well. Yeah.
There's a traditional Filipino folk dance called fungi, and that's all I have to say.
He's just always doing that.
So I went ahead and sent the different options for what the premise of Act 1 in our little private chat. There's 4 of them. We either befriended an ally who gave us access to a valuable item. We discovered a secret hidden by a powerful figure. We did something fun but drew the ire of a powerful figure in the process, or we learned the frightening plans of a powerful foe.
I am immediately drawn to the third one. And
we did something fun but drew the ire of a powerful figure?
And have the powerful figure be the Earth Sage. And in my head, we broke something. Or messed up his mission somehow. And now we're indebted to him essentially. And that's partly why we're helping him.
I like that.
Guilt. That's what a good motivator.
Yes, exactly. Oh, that's so good. Classic. I really like that.
And I think then it has to be something big that his mission is, right? Because if it's just I have to take this wax seal from this town to this town, it's got to be something like I'm gathering allies for the Earth King in order to finally wipe out the rest of the Fifth Nation once and for all, something like that.
Well, what if it was so a bunch of Earth Sages just died, right?
Yeah, so their numbers are
their beliefs, their practices are in danger.
Mm-hmm.
What if it is just trying to preserve those things, trying to make sure that those are going to survive?
I do want to stray away from any idea of this Earth stage is trying to like ensure the survival or protect like a relic, because we've already sort of explored that in our
We
last
did that.
campaign.
Yeah, that's fair. That's
Fair.
fair. But I think Nick's talking about protecting a philosophy, which is interesting.
Yeah, they're
Um,
teachings. I mean,
yeah.
it could be some scrolls or something, but it's not like a specific text or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm just figuring out what we did, the something fun we did. Maybe we like, maybe it's like by the ocean and we knocked him in.
I was thinking something also like embarrassing him
Oh,
in a way that he would want to save face. Again, like we're doing something fun.
Oh, I like that a lot.
What we do results in embarrassment on a diplomatic mission, and then we are, trying to make good. And he's like, "Well, I'm in a bind."
I like that a lot. I like that a lot. Yeah, I'm like just picturing us like making fun of him in front of a bunch of political leaders, as teens are wont to do.
Yeah.
And like
maybe y'all
totally screwing up like maybe a really important alliance.
Exactly. Maybe y'all like witnessed him in something, right? That he didn't really want the rest of the other political leaders to know about, and you didn't really know the importance of him wanting to keep that a secret, and he sort of exposed that. I think we should narrow it down a little bit here, right?
Yeah.
What are these things that we're talking about here?
Yeah, what is something fun we did to chew the ire of this?
Oh, I had another idea.
Mm-hmm.
What if this Earth stage has a very specific diet and needs to eat specific types of foods, and we ate those foods, and now he doesn't have what he needs to survive? His blood sugar is dropping. He's getting all panicky.
I actually do kind of like that. I'm picturing
Yeah.
like a banquet hall, and like they're bringing out a special like platter for this Earth stage, and they unveil it, and there's nothing in it, and like the
It's just
camera cuts
empty.
over to the four of us, and like our faces are like obviously covered in whatever this item
Maybe
is.
and maybe do you think that maybe the Earth stage is embarrassed because like everyone assumes that he like went out of his way to like make the food disappear, or what do you think? What's going on there?
Oh, okay.
I feel like that'd be
Another
more
flip.
embarrassing.
Here's
for
another
y'all.
flip.
He's allergic.
The Earth sage is lactose intolerant.
Yeah, he's allergic to something.
And we gave him cheese. And then he's got to go and meet with somebody important. And flatulence and diplomacy don't mix.
I don't know. I don't hate that.
It's not bad.
I don't hate
that. It's very Avatar.
It's like the dumb teen
I love
prank
that.
they would
Yeah.
do.
So the something fun you did was
Replace
you
this Earth Sage's
you
food
replaced
with what
his
he
food
was
is something
allergic
he's
to.
allergic to, in turn leading him to embarrass himself in front of a figure in higher power to him.
But we didn't know who he was.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, like
Absolutely,
he was
yeah.
just.
I mean, it could even be that you just there's some sort of like oil or something that's known to just be a natural laxative, and you just put it in his food, right? It doesn't need to, because I'm thinking there's no way. Why would you guys know what he's allergic to, right? So maybe
For sure,
Yeah.
for sure.
maybe
yeah.
you took like this, like maybe you took some like I don't know, like fire lotus balm or something, and
Yeah, I
put
love
it in his
I love
food,
it.
which caused him to explode during his meeting
Yeah,
with
I like that a lot.
this
I
higher
like
up
that a lot.
official, right? So
It's fun.
tricked.
That's wacky enough to work.
Yeah.
But then why would we be picking on this guy first?
I mean, I think in my head it could just be a random thing. We can flesh it out later. In my head, like at the beginning of the episode, he like bumps into one of us on the street, and is
Yeah,
like,
maybe
really
he's
jealous.
snooty,
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
he's
That
full
makes
of
sense.
self-importance.
Is that why they sent him on this diplomatic mission? They were like, you're an embarrassment. Succeed on this mission, or else your reputation's on the line. Like
That's why he takes it so
that's
personally.
yeah.
I don't know.
I
I
was
go back
picturing
and
like
forth.
I was
I think
picturing like a Mrs. Doubtfire situation at the end. It's like all like accident, but then it just kind of reveals itself after the accident and everything. So
I don't know how
yeah,
you all feel. Part of me wants this Earth Sage to be kind of competent and
Mhm.
friendly.
Yeah.
So that way there isn't like a negative like reaction right away between like us and this Earth Sage.
Yeah. I
Like
mean,
there will be some tension because we've done this to him, but like I
Mhm.
think it would be interesting if the Earth Sage is like someone that eventually we might be able to turn to.
Yeah.
For advice.
I mean, I wasn't thinking about him as like a bumbling like
okay.
diplomat, right? I was thinking about him as a serious guy, which why it was so not him to do this in front of his superiors, which is
Yes,
why
I
they
think
were like,
he takes his job very seriously.
Mm-hmm.
So like maybe that's why he got upset. Maybe that's why he
Yeah.
got upset, right? Because we like
Yeah.
I don't know, bumped into him and dirtied his like diplomatic robes or
Yeah.
something.
And he could have easily had us. I say us like I'm one of the players. He could have easily had you guys like I don't know like locked up or something. But then he was like, you know what? No, this is your guys' issue. You're going to help me fix this, right? All right. I like that.
Let's move on.
I like that. All right. So Act 2, we have some options here. I'm going to send.
I got it.
You got it. Beautiful. Yeah, the PDF app I'm using is very annoying. So the options for Act 2 are: we stole a valuable item from a powerful foe. We discovered a terrible truth about a location or a powerful figure. We defended an ally or place from a powerful foe. Or we destroyed a valuable item and drew the ire of its owner, a powerful foe.
with the concept that we're playing with, I'm we can change this. I'm leaning towards either we discovered something or we destroyed something.
Yeah,
And it was all accidental.
I was leaning toward discovery as well too. I was just trying to think about what that would be.
Well, maybe it's like he was trying to talk to these officials about something important, and in us sort of ruining that, he spills it on us, like mess this up for me.
Yeah, I definitely think there's something here, especially if you're thinking about, okay, like maybe this Earth Sage is on a diplomatic mission in another nation to plead for help because this tragedy has befallen their sect. And they're not on good terms. And so he's got to present very professionally. But maybe the discovery is that the Earth Sages are being targeted.
Oh, interesting. By who?
What happened to the guy who was poisoning them in the?
He's
dead.
He's dead.
Yeah, he's dead.
Yeah, it's Jianju.
Jianju, yeah.
There's gonna be we're gonna have spoilers. This is like I said, the 6 list after Shadows of Kyoshi. So
but I do think because like this, yeah. I was gonna say either that or my mind went to like what if this political leader that this Earth Sage is talking to heard a rumor that there was another group of Earth Sages that got sent on a mission to a town somewhere else and got trapped there somehow. You know, I don't know how. Maybe we can work out the details. Like it was like an earthquake or something. And so, like, rescuing those Earth Sages would be important, right?
Yeah, prime importance. Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, and it could be something that's like on the other side of the Earth Kingdom. It could be something like in the Fire Nation or in one of the Water Tribes. And so, like, on the way, we could secure alliances for the Earth Sages while knowing that we got to get to this place to save these other Earth Sages, or at least investigate like what happened to this group of Earth Sages. So that or Sam's idea is good too. of someone targeting, but then we need to drill down on like who's targeting the Earth Sages.
Could be like.
I mean, to expand on my idea again, like you can like targeting by the bandit gangs that are fairly common in the Kyoshi era.
Yeah.
So there's like a Daofei group that's trying to make a big power play and
Yeah.
take out more Earth Sages. I like that.
Who knows? Maybe they don't like knowledge. Maybe they're looking to ban books that are teaching history.
They're gonna make
And again, I understand this is complete like science fiction and fantasy.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
They'll probably make an assault then on Wan Tong's library at some point, I would imagine.
Mhm.
I like that idea because I think so far we don't have any like foe.
But now
through
we do.
this.
Yeah. What? Okay. This is just my brainstorm moment. So Sam mentioned that this Earth Sage was trying to gain sort of an allied relationship with some of these powerful figures, right?
Yeah.
And that's sort of why he was sent there. What if this Earth Sage, this is just a complete brainstorm moment on my part, what if this Earth Sage went to one of the air temples, maybe the Eastern Air Temple, to try to get help, right? And we know that in this era right now, the air temples are they're trying to detach themselves from the ires of from the troubles of the outside world. They're trying to focus on preserving their spiritual sites and focusing on themselves, right? And maybe the mission that these air nomads send this Earth Sage on is to aid in protecting one of their spiritual sites. And they're like, if you can ensure the spiritual sites protection, then we will aid you. But what if the spiritual site that they send you to protect is the Singing Path? They want you to go meet this air nomad monk Yemtsin to protect the Singing Path there.
I mean, I feel like wouldn't that be something we would do in play? Maybe. Like I think in my head, this might be like
that's what I'm
first
thinking. Yeah.
Stops of the Earth.
So you're thinking this already happened? This?
No, I'm saying like that
Yeah.
might be something that like the Earth Sage might be like, we have to go to the Eastern Air Temple now and try and get their support, and then
I think it
That's
makes
what I meant.
sense
It's
to
like-
sort of take these two factions that were started building up and like pit them against each other. So I think the Earth Sages as spiritual leaders can exist as like a harmonizing entity for the Earth Kingdom, whereas the bandits obviously would want it to keep being disparate, separate groups that don't really police together or work together. And so the sages are just trying to work together to sort of bring all of the nations together, but obviously also mainly the Earth Kingdom.
And this Daofei is big enough that they'll be hounding us the entire diplomatic journey.
Yeah.
I like that.
I'm liking this a lot.
I like how we go from making a dude spill his pants to like, okay, save the world. We need
save the world, all right,
or at least protect this guy so he saves the world.
Let's sum up that act 2 into one sentence. So
I think the terrible truth in would be that we should have a leader for a Daofei group and name the Daofei group, and then that person is hunting this Earth Sage.
I like that. Does anyone have any ideas from the top of their head?
Looking up Daofei names.
Khan.
I'm thinking of the first thing that jumps to my mind is the empty moon. I was thinking of like, the phases of the moon, and then, what would you call like the new moon in this world? And I just think that sounds cool.
It sounds
does
really
sound
cool.
It almost
And then
sounds like maybe the leaders of Waterbender,
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, it sounds like
which would be
maybe
very like interesting for Dao fans
Yeah.
because they're typically like Earthbenders or Earth Kingdom citizens.
maybe they're one of those southern water tribe citizens who resorted to a life of crime and piracy.
He was in the Fifth Nation. The Fifth Nation is losing power, so he joined a Dao Fei and took over it. Named it. I love that. I love that a lot. I'm taking that.
And what's the name of this leader of the Empty Moon?
Oh, his name's got to be the Steve of the Southern Water Tribe.
Okay. All right.
Here
we go.
Paul Rock.
Paul Rock?
Paul Rock. Palrak.
Paul
Of
Rock.
the Southern Water Tribe. Makes the most sense.
PAL
RAK.
RAK. And how does Paul Rock present?
I will leave it up to the group.
All right. Leader of the Empty Moon. I love that so much. Just got that lead. Paul Rock, leader of the Empty Moon, is targeting the Earth Sages. So we discovered that Paul Rock, leader of the Empty Moon, is targeting the Earth Sages and aims to wipe the rest of them out.
Yes.
Beautiful. Well, not beautiful. That's very scary, but
it's scary. It's also such a
Very
hard
good.
baking premise because, as I said at the top, in a few short years, all the Earth Sages will disappear anyway.
yeah, right. Another theme that I found reading sort of summaries of this era is it's kind of sad. There's a lot of hopeless effort, right? The air nomads are trying to protect these spiritual sites, which we know during the 100-Year War will all be destroyed, right? Or will all be...
Oh, spoilers! Oh man,
Man, you are just all.
But Danny, where is the Avatar during the 100 Years War?
I don't know.
He's probably like in the ocean or something.
Yeah. Whoa. All right. Act 3. I think we're making pretty good time here.
Yeah.
Justin's already got that sent.
Yep, I put it up there.
So Act 3, the options we have for Act 3 are: we fought and barely defeated a powerful foe. We narrowly escaped capture by a powerful foe. We saved or rescued an ally from a powerful figure. Or we were saved from a powerful foe by an ally to their own detriment.
I really like the idea of rescuing because I like, Feng being captured and then us being like, hey, we kind of messed that guy up really bad.
Also, it doesn't
Maybe we should
necessarily have to be
follow him.
Feng again. We could create another new...
Yeah, but I like
character here
the
as well.
continuity that it sort of creates. I don't know.
True. Yeah.
It does. I like that. There's just something about the fought and barely defeated, like a random guy that was hunting.
I would love to
You know what I
add
mean? Like-
another antagonist.
Oh, like an agent of
Yeah,
the
just
Empty
like
Moon?
a lieutenant, and it shouldn't be the leader because it should just be like some random person. Because then they have that sense of like, oh, these guys are strong. If we
Yeah.
barely defeated just one of them.
Where's
I like
everyone
that
leaning? That's pretty fun.
Yeah, let's have a bad guy rival. We need to
We do. We need our.
Need
we
someone
our
to
Commander
hate.
Zhu.
We need
Commander
we need our first phase of the campaign bad guy rival, right? It can't be Paul Rock right away,
Yeah.
right?
yeah. How about instead of a lieutenant, maybe Paul Rock outsourced this job,
Zhu.
and so
I
you're
like that.
dealing with like a different sort of
Like some sort of hired
organization.
assassin, maybe, or
Like a
some
bounty
hired
combustion
mercenary?
vendor?
or bounty
Yeah, like
hunter or
junior.
something like that.
Yeah,
so
that's
again,
fine.
you can they might not be loyal to anything except the money. And then again, or if you want to go deeper, like maybe they have bonds and ties that can also be exploited.
If this powerful foe is a mercenary combustion bender, that would be so fun.
Just throw it out there.
That would be really fun.
I mean, it could be.
I would have a lot of fun with that. So if we want to do that,
No, the character I'm thinking of is made of boomerangs, so it's going to be too easy.
No, yeah.
He's just the walking boomerang spirit.
So we're thinking they've got to be from the Fire Nation.
Not necessarily.
If they're a combustion bender.
It's like, yeah.
I feel like yeah. Well, they have to be firebender, obviously.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, we're in a time where there's so many orphan children. We have a very diverse pirate fleet. He could be from anywhere.
that's true. All right, you're right. Well, they probably culturally have a Fire Nation name if they're a firebender.
Oh yeah.
That is interesting. We've never seen that where like someone that grew up in like another culture takes on the like naming conventions of.
Yeah. Well, Rozak is culturally a Fire Nation name.
That's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like,
we haven't seen it before in.
Oh, I guess that is it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Never mind. We have. I'm sorry.
But is anyone opposed to that? That
I like that.
the Empty
I'm fine with that.
Moon
Hiring a bounty
outsourced,
combustion
outsourced
bender
the bounty hunter?
to hunt us.
We like that better
That's
than
real scary to start off with.
That's very scary.
It is.
Let's start off on the back foot as much as possible.
It's like, can't we just start with like, politely denying like pamphlets from people that they're handing to us?
Yeah, baby.
Like that's much more.
I like
honestly.
that. I like that because I mean, if Palrock hired a combustion bender, who knows what Palrock is capable of, right?
Yeah. I mean, I don't even know if we need to name this person. I don't know if
I think we
gotten
should.
their name. Yeah.
All right. Barely defeated.
Oh man. How did we barely defeat him?
I like that. That's a good name. Huh?
I was just wondering how we barely defeated this combustion bender.
A well-placed shot.
I picture this scene where you guys are ready to like sort of face off with this small like sect of maybe some like ships of the Empty Moon, right? And you guys are preparing for them to reach shore and fight you, but then all of a sudden you see this flash and there are these shots coming from the ship just hitting you guys while you're on shore. And so you guys aren't even able to be on equal footing with them. You guys aren't even able to like reach them on their ships, or you're not even able to wait till they reach you on shore because they're just it's essentially cannonballs, right?
Yeah.
But it's the shots from this combustion bender.
It sounds more than like we narrowly escaped capture than that we fought and barely defeated.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd buy a defeating of a combustion bender. Like,
straight
up.
I'm down for narrowly.
I completely forgot about the barely defeated part.
That's why I was asking, like, how did we barely defeat a combustion bender? But
yeah,
narrowly avoided defeat from a combustion bender. And I do like that name that Sam put, Sarvek. I think that is. I know we said we don't need to name him yet, but
how would we know it though?
We won't know it.
Why we don't?
He's got a name tag.
My name is Sarvak. You're going to die.
It's bounty hunting. Like they're required to announce themselves to their
like motorcycle gangs. You got the name on the back.
But it's just your name.
Well, I get it. You're an assassin because your jacket.
Your jacket says,
got your name on the back.
I kill you. Rest in peace, Akira Toriyama.
I like that too. I like the idea that y'all as a group didn't even see him, right? Maybe some of you don't even know what combustion bending is, but all of a sudden you just see these suddenly just like artillery fire from the
Or,
ships.
like,
We have
on you
no
guys.
context for. We don't know what
Yeah,
artillery is.
exactly.
Or like
So
there's a
it's-
scene as we're fleeing and we like just catch a glimpse of this person as the ships
Yeah,
are,
like,
docking.
maybe one of you looks back and you see this figure silhouetted by this like sun setting behind him, and you see a flash where his head should
on his
be. And
forehead. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Oh yes, I love it. I love
Alright.
it so much.
All right, so we narrowly escaped defeat or capture from a hired combustion bending assassin hired by Palrock. All right, fun. So we're gonna start off with all of y'all on your back leg, sort of recovering from a tough situation. So that's gonna be an interesting first episode, but we'll have to wait to do that. Right now, we gotta create characters. We gotta create characters.
Time.
And
I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to do it.
well, sucks for you because I don't either.
How many dice do I roll?
All of them.
All
All
of
of
the
them.
Be sure you roll.
It says take all the dice you own and roll them. If you don't have any
And
dice,
roll
then your
all
character
of
starts with zeros across the board. No. So
Finally,
we're
those
gonna
people with
start.
giant dice bags. Have
Yes.
have a game.
Like, yes, my time has
Yes.
come.
more stats.
Coming soon. From Dustfire Media.
We're going to start with Monroe's character. This is the nitty gritty. This is the green personalities here. We're creating beautiful people who we're going to be exploring with and growing with throughout this campaign. So we're going to start with Monroe. And it wants you, as per the core rulebook, Monroe, to start off with choosing a playbook or a character concept. If you already had something in mind, too, you can say what character concept you had in mind, and also I can sort of help you decide which playbook you want to choose, or vice versa. But do you have any ideas right off the bat?
Yeah, I've actually just been looking at this while you guys were talking. Do you guys remember when what Liko was? That way I don't do that again.
Liko was
Waterbender, the icon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I meant like the okay.
Yeah.
So anything other than Waterbender, but I'm thinking I'd probably like to do something with. Let's do the opposite of that. Do with fire.
Yeah, firebending. Yeah,
Yep.
that'd be cool. Also, Monroe, you've always given Firebender to me personally.
Really?
Yeah.
Steve said something different. I think Steve told me like, oh yeah, water matches.
Water.
So it's like weird. It's just a little different, but they're opposite.
Wow.
And
But they're connected.
yin yang.
Yes.
Are they not the same?
Well, ask Uncle Iro. They're all connected.
What's the concept? Like the person. Maybe we can like narrow down a playbook from there.
Mm-hmm.
So they're a firebender. They're bakery shop owner.
So we're going with teens this again, right?
Yep.
Okay, so
Yeah.
Well, you
don't
can
want to do the
technically
same-
play an older person. They have the elder as a playbook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's true. Yeah, I just saw that.
But then you have to think of why you are an elder who is.
She's feeding a fire stage
Anything.
laxatives.
But that could be that you're our elder, and then
Could
we
be the
did
one
that.
voice that's saying, "Guys, don't do that."
Please don't.
But then being the only
You
girl
did
that
what?
might be like, "Oh."
No,
Yeah.
I think
I'm
it's a
gonna
good
go
question
for-
though. What is the range that we're thinking for here?
I have a
terms
team in mind for
Mhm.
my character.
And what has the scope been for in terms of ages for, I think in the first arc, everybody was like pretty clustered together. For the
Yeah.
Republic City one, was everybody around the same age too?
It was
I know
a wider range in Republic
It was
City, I think.
a little bit wider range. One character played someone who was probably like mid 30s, I think.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And then Janie's character was like 12.
Yeah.
So there's a bit wider range. I mean, the base assumption is that you're playing teens because that's what we see in the shows. But
Mhm.
I mean,
if
you could
you're-
also like, I mean, like young
Yeah, you can
adults.
play with
You're,
it.
yeah,
Play with
right. Yeah, you can play with it.
So I'm leaning towards probably like an older teen, and
Yeah.
ones that I'm really leaning towards are like either the Rogue or the Hammer.
Hmm.
Both great
So right off the
Yeah.
bat, we've already seen Hammer.
some rule breaking.
Yeah, I also have intentions on the rogue, but let's talk it out.
Okay, yeah, if you want the Rogue, you can take the Rogue. Let's see.
Well, I mean, Hammer.
Well, yeah, I mean, because I think
Well-
again, like from my understanding, Osa first time around was the
Yeah.
hammer,
Hammer. Mhm.
True.
and then there was successor, guardian, and idealist. I think Ren was the idealist.
Yep.
And then the running joke was that the
We never did the
successor, or
Guardian.
no, that the guardian and successor while bonded by family ties, did not check in on each other for the play.
Yeah, not nearly
Nope,
enough.
never.
Yeah.
Nope, never. Yes.
And let me just say, I love your commitment to the bit that went on for a very long time.
Yeah, we were definitely committing to a bit and definitely not forgetting. We
That
want
was
that on record.
completely on purpose.
Yeah, I mean, that being said, I think it's okay if you pick a playbook that
Yeah,
has.
I think that it's
Yeah.
shows
been long
before,
enough.
'cause
We've had
it's
enough.
gonna be different
Yeah.
than Osa. Like whatever Monroe plays is
Exactly.
gonna be
Exactly.
different.
So
Yeah, that's
So you think
if Sam's the Rogue. Let me just see. Like the Hammer seems cool just because if I go with like fire, it seems kind of fun to play
Very
with.
punchy.
Yeah.
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 Fit.
I just want something that's really different from Legos. I don't want anything that has to do with like icons or successors or anything, like something that's like has a lot of,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? I want something different so that way I can actually learn how I can play different things on this game.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
I'm shooting for the Hammer, maybe even there's even more, right? There's like the
There's a
Destined,
there's a
there's,
bunch
like,
more.
Yeah, let's see.
I
What
a
Oh,
pillar
okay.
could-
The Razor.
Ooh.
Raised to be a weapon. That sounds a little Leco-ish, so maybe we
yeah.
can go with the Broken.
The broken.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards either the Hammer or the Broken. Opposites again, so we'll see.
What
do you guys feeling?
For a completely unbiased reason, I would implore you to do the hammer.
It's really funny because
you named apparently all of the playbooks that all three of us are interested
yeah,
in.
Justin is leaning
Really?
towards
Oh,
the Razor,
sorry. Okay.
and Nick is leaning towards the
but-
Broken. But like,
It's funny.
Okay, no problem.
You're going
What,
first,
yeah, hold on.
so
What are you guys thinking? So that way I can give you
what I
guys. your
want to
turn.
ask, is what drew you to initially lean towards the Rogue or the Hammer? Like, what's this? What kind of character like is this? Not to go too much into detail because we're gonna cover that all in a little bit. But like, what caused you to look at the Rogue and the Hammer initially?
Probably just has to do a lot with more personal things, I guess, that I'm not even aware about. So
Okay.
it's just something that just kind of calls out to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, what
Yeah.
moves the Ouija board? We don't know.
Because yeah, I mean, right off the bat, they both the Rogue and the Hammer, they seem fairly like, as playbooks, they're like very like abrupt and like confrontational. Like they both have kind of that vibe about them, right? Which
Which one?
And I guess so does the Razor too. Right, they're like on
Mhm. Mhm.
similar like wavelengths there.
Mhm.
I haven't done my stuff. So yeah, did anyone want the Hammer?
no.
I'm not gonna lie. Like I've been so excited about this whole experience that I've literally iterated on every one of these playbooks.
yeah,
So I think I say that to say, like Monroe again, like there's always negotiation, there's always talking, because if you're feeling like, oh man, like this is I gotta have this, but I don't think that any of us have like landed so hard on the Hammer. Maybe have fallen in love with other playbooks instead.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
and like the thing too is like I do this when I have character concepts as well too. I'll tag a couple different playbooks that could fit that character concept.
Mhm.
That way, if one gets
Exactly,
picked, I
yeah.
can choose the other one. So if you chose the Razor,
Yeah.
it'd be fine. It would
Yeah.
work.
It also seems like no one here is married to the hammer, so you'd be completely safe to pick that if that's what you wanted.
Okay. Yeah, like the hammer and the razor kind of stand out to me.
Okay.
Then again, I'm aware that we're all probably going to be gravitated towards similar characters that we've played before, just because there's a lot more going on up there than just playing a game. But it seems like the razor sounds a little bit like they both sound very like they could be Liko as well, but they could also be taken in a totally different way. So the only reason why I keep checking in with you guys about not playing, like trying to stay away from Liko, is because even
And
I need
what's
to keep
cool
myself.
If you're interested in like a character that, like a playbook that would be pretty different from Liko, the Pillar stood out to me as somebody that feels pretty different right off the bat from Liko.
Yeah, that's the leader playbook.
Yeah.
I guess again, like maybe it's a reframe of the question. Like, what is it that you're envisioning it would be fun for you to play? Like, again, like if you're like, I do want to like kind of go off on people and punch stuff. Like that's some hammer. Like,
yeah, that's some hammer
there's not a lot of, because from my understanding, and by the way, y'all, I'm a fan of the show. So like being able to like listen to your arcs and the way that you all have like crafted the journeys. Again, like I think that my interpretation, at least as a listener listening to Liko, is that again, like there was such an internal struggle that she really kept to herself, right? And again, if you're feeling like I need to flip that and like just kind of go off of impulse and like get it out there and express emotion, like I think you can do that through a playbook like the Hammer, which might be or the Rogue, again, like just kind of or even like the Bold.
I was
looking
at the
Bold as well. Yeah,
like the Bold like gets out there and kind of mixes it up, and because like their idea is to like again like prove themselves worthy in their own eyes, and they do that through flourishes of action. I think one of the features of the Bold that I'm not sure if was ever really gotten into was that they have these tasks like I need to like make a new friend or buy a new set of clothes or like perform a dance. I don't know if performing a dance is
I think Johnny marked off maybe one of those.
Yeah.
But
yeah. Well, I mean,
Yeah,
so
it's a hammer.
Hammer?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with the hammer.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Sam. They're very
I
helpful.
don't know if we've ever done the flavor text for these, because the last time there wasn't flavor text.
Yeah.
When the game wasn't out yet. But the hammer is described as a fighter looking to solve problems by smashing them, even when they might not be the right solution. Their balance principles are force versus care.
Sounds fun.
I love it.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Fire.
With fire. So you chose a hammer. You already chose your tradition, which is firebending. Do you have a name in mind already for this firebending hammer?
Yes and no. I'm looking for yes and no, because let's see. I like.
Oh, you got it, Justin. I didn't see that you're on here.
Can always circle back to the name.
Yeah, we can always circle back to the name. Yeah. All right. So yeah, you already chose you want to be a firebender. Now we gotta choose your background. And there are 6 options here. And yeah, your background is basically how you were brought up. It's your character's background. And these 6 options we have are military, monastic, outlaw, privileged, urban, or wilderness.
Like military, especially if for hammer.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So you're part of the Fire Nation army.
Yeah. You can
Or
choose up to 2 backgrounds as well. So if
Yeah.
another one also
Okay.
You can also
Mhm.
be a like an army brat.
Oh, that's a fun
Maybe you're-
idea too.
like if you sort of like inherited like a military status, maybe like you
Just,
were
like,
a
grew up
privileged in
around
military.
The military, yeah.
Yeah, like that.
So privileged in
Mhm.
military. All right.
Oh, this is so interesting.
All right.
So interesting.
Getting to
Um,
experience Justin as a player is already very nice.
So you already chose Firebender, but like we said already, that doesn't necessarily need to determine where your character grew up, where your hometown is. So where did this Firebending Hammer grow up? What's their hometown?
It can be made up like last time, right?
It could be made up, exactly.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
You
For
could
sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. We have so much freedom. It's great.
New York City.
I like let's go with something called let's go with a made up place and we'll call it Oma. Like OMA.
Oh.
OMA? Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Where in the Four Nations is Oma?
Let's see. I do want it somewhere near the Fire Nation.
Near the Fire Nation?
Do the
Maybe
Fire
in-
Nation.
Maybe in the Fire Nation.
Wait, this is in the Fire Nation?
Yeah. Since she is like a military brat, she probably would kind of stick to what she knows in the beginning,
Mm-hmm.
most of her life. And obviously this whole group thing is something that she's going to be experiencing from a different point of view. Let's keep her in the Fire Nation.
All right, yeah. So is it a city? Is it a town? Like the town of Oma in the Fire Nation?
The town of Oma.
All right, awesome. So the town of Oma. Now you have the option to choose between.
Don't forget to do fighting style too.
Yes, fighting style.
Yeah.
Yes. Did I miss that? Oh yeah, I just glanced over that. Yeah, let's go over that real quick. So you're a firebender, but how specifically does your character firebend? What's your fighting style? Like Rose, like you chose like a more defensive firebending style, like walls and stuff. I think Liko was like ice fists, right? That was like your
Mhm.
main fighting style. And then obviously it morphed into something else towards the end there, but
This character, she's obviously the hammer, so she's probably gonna be on offense most of the time. So let's have her do something. Let's do like a kind of fire punch, where it can come out in 2 different ways. Either she can like have it spray out and it forms in the form of a fist,
Oh, that's cool.
or she can actually or whichever way she controls.
I kind of love that, like as a Muay Thai jump punch.
yeah.
Yeah. So
Just
like
to
if
regain
her
fire.
opponent is too far, she can use that like spray. But if it's like here, then she can kind of have it as extra
That's
punch.
very cool.
She's the
Yeah.
hammer, so
Extendable fire brass knuckles.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's-
And we've already
it's
kind of
nice
kind of
but with
seen that,
fire.
right? So it's,
Yeah.
yeah. And that's something
sure.
that sort of it's in the Avatar verse. Like we've seen
Yeah.
Zuko do it and stuff. So yeah, I like that.
I mean, it could like you could even like take it further and just be like straight like hands, just like boxer style.
So
And,
you're
you know,
yeah. So you're almost like a melee firebender. I
Mhm.
like that. That's really fun. All right.
Your
So
fighting style's like up in their grill. Just call it up in their grill.
fire fists. Grill cause fire. All right. I feel like
grilling that.
I feel like choosing demeanors isn't really as important for us. I feel like we all pretty much have. I feel like all of y'all pretty
You
much
know how
have.
to play a character.
Yeah, you know how to play a character, so we can kind of just skip that. Justin, what do you think? Should we describe how our characters look now, or should we kind of give us time to think about that before?
If Monroe has an idea, I think
Yeah.
maybe we can probably describe it. Well, I mean, we'll do both. We'll definitely describe it when we do the very first episode.
During our first session, yeah, but do you have any idea of what your character looks like right now, Monroe?
Yeah, let's have her have like long reddish brown hair to kind of go with the fire.
All right.
To kind of keep just as an honor as like to Liko, I'd have her also have green eyes.
I like it. You say green eyes?
Yeah, green eyes. She's a military brat, so she probably won't have any tattoos or anything like that. She's kind of
that would
keeps
also
her hair in a bun, I think.
It would also probably mean that you have some earthbending blood in you as well too, because only earthbenders. It's weird. Everyone in the Avatar world has the exact same eye color. If you're an earthbender, they're green. If you're from the Fire Nation, they're like red.
Red.
Right? I think airbenders are gray and waterbenders are blue.
Mm-hmm. And if you're a non-bender, you don't have pupils and you just have whites.
No, you have that same. It has nothing to do with bending. I don't think.
Terrifying.
I think it has to do with the
nation in which you grew up in. Yeah. It's also ease of. It's also for the viewing audience of the show as well.
So you can easily tell.
Yeah, it's not like impossible by any means.
For like stealth missions, like if you don't want to, if you're infiltrating another like nation, you just have to close your eyes and they just don't know.
They'll never know.
Put some sunglasses on. Just put
wasn't there a character in the Avatarverse who wore contacts of some kind?
Oh, that'd be a great. Yeah, I don't know.
Was it in Korra, or am I just imagining that up?
I think you're imagining it, but I think
but it is cool.
I think you should write that down.
That's the kind of
idea. All right, so long red hair, kept in a bun, green eyes.
Yeah, I kind of like that green eyes because then it does hint to a different type of background, which would then challenge her to at some point in the future.
I like it. All right. If there's no other physical descriptions of note, we can go ahead and move on to your stats. Now, your stats are already initially predetermined by your playbook, the Hammer. The Hammer starts with -1 creativity, +2 focus, 0 harmony, and 1 passion. And also, you can see all this in your character sheet in our shared Google sheet. You can add +1 to any one of these stats. Although you wouldn't,
because that wasn't from.
Oh, that wasn't from the Hammer. Okay,
No.
so all right. So yeah, wait 1 moment. So the Hammer actually starts with +1 creativity, -1 focus, 0 harmony, and 1 passion.
Okay. So it's just
and you can add +1 to any one of these stats. Right away, if you want to, what would come to mind for me if you want to be like a very like aggressive sort of character, passion would be something that comes to mind for me. If you're going to be rolling advance and attack a lot during combat, then you'd want a higher passion.
So just
that's definitely the one that stands out. Yeah, so you would bring your passion to 2 then.
To 2, so not -2. Okay.
Yeah, does that sound good? Passion?
Yeah, and that would make everything else kind of like flipped. Like creativity would be -1 at that point.
Oh no! This is just adding 1 to something. It doesn't affect the other stats.
Okay, cool.
All right. Now we can move to your
probably do player
Connections.
feature.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna have to hold off on connections because we have to. The
Mhm.
rest of us have to do
Oh,
it now.
true. Yeah.
And as a name, you can call me Mae. MAE.
MAE. Awesome, I love
Mhm.
it. So we do have to determine some things for your playbook feature called Bringing Them Down. And it reads, you always have an adversary, one who represents the things you're trying to smash through: tyranny, inequality, war, larger and more dangerous concepts that, to you at least, this one person embodies. Your adversary is someone significant and powerful, someone who actually deserves the amount of force you can bring to bear. So what is the name of your adversary? Like you're sort of like nemesis almost.
A name. Let's have.
Mhm.
Let's have her be Faye. FAE.
May and Faye. I love it. It already brings up some sort of
And
questions as to like how you're connected to this person, right? It's
that's
a
what I was
similar
gonna go
name.
with. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
feeling very twins.
That
One's the evil twin.
one.
I love it.
But which
Or am I
one?
the evil twin?
Yeah.
Wow. And next you have to choose a goal that you have for your adversary. How do you want to take care of them, basically, right? You can choose between 6 options. Those options are: you can either capture them, depose them, expose them, discredit them, restrain them, or exile them.
I'm
Kill
leaning
them.
towards 2. Exterminate. I like exile.
Exile them? Ooh. I like that too. I like
She's a
that
hammer,
too.
so she's just going for a full-on punch there. She
Alright,
can't
very-
kill them.
Yeah. Very, very fun. I think that if you want to go into more specifics about your adversary, that's definitely something that we can do between now and
Think about
the
it,
first
yeah. 'Cause
session. Yeah,
I want to
something
know
think about.
why you want to exile them. That's such a
Yeah.
choice.
I want to exile them. It sounds like y'all are sisters, which is ooh.
Mhm.
I mean,
Should that be
I'm-
something that we discuss on this, or would it be better for the story to reveal it all in time?
I
mean,
I
I think if you got like an inkling of what you're thinking, you can hear.
Yeah. Unless like you really want to just sort of keep it a little
Stew
under
on it.
wraps and
Yeah.
stew on it a little bit, whatever you prefer.
Yeah, let's let me just sit on it for just a little bit.
Yeah, let it simmer. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
it. I think that's pretty much all we got. I think for a
Definitely.
combat technique, we can.
Oh yeah.
I think for combat technique, we can choose that later. Do we also? I feel like it's also fine if we. Do you have any idea of what moves you want to pick for the hammer, or otherwise we can just. I don't know. You can choose between 2 of 6 starting moves here, or
Yeah, they're
5
short.
rather.
It would be good to pick moves. There's a
Let's
ton
do
of
that.
many
Yeah.
things, so we can
Mhm.
definitely reveal those at a later date. But
Yeah. So
Yeah. Let's see. I'm trying to find them right now.
Pick the punch him in the face move.
right.
punch.
Yeah, hear it.
They're all punch them in the face.
Mm-hmm. Justin, do you have a way to send her or us the 5 moves that the hammer
Let's
starts with?
see how it. Let's see how it formats.
Okay.
Not great, but and it doesn't even get everything. So here.
That's a lot there.
That's most of it. It's not here. Let's. If you're looking at the playbook I sent you earlier, Monroe, it should be on that.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find it on there.
It
Because
is. It is the one called Avatar Legends Core Playbooks,
yeah.
and then it should be page 7.
Man, let's pick my stand in the game.
Oh man, we're gonna have, I think, a very in-your-face group.
I mean, yeah. I mean, you poisoned a basically, what's the word? An endangered member of an endangered people group. You poisoned them for
But
laughs.
it was for fun.
Yeah,
You make
Didn't
it
we
sound
have a
so
great
bad.
time?
you have to admit it was funny. Everyone who saw it has to admit it was funny.
They won't do it on record, but it's true.
Yeah.
They wouldn't say it, yeah, and they won't say it to the sage's face, but they'll say it to our face.
I'm sure when Fung looks back on it, like he's gonna tell the story with a laugh.
Oh,
Hmm.
for sure, for sure.
You said it's on page 7.
That's what I
Mhm.
have on mine, but who knows what happens in the transference of PDFs on Gmail?
Right.
only,
Does
only Google himself knows.
page 7, the rules,
Um,
your heroes, the story. That's what's on page 7 here. What
That-
is an RPG?
that is
It
not.
is an RPG.
Oh, you're
The
looking at
next
the
one is-
core. You're looking
Yeah,
at the
you're
core.
deep into the rule book.
You're good. You're good.
Oh.
You're good. Go to page 181 then.
No, you're right. This is 181.
I got you, Monroe.
We're almost there. I promise.
Yeah, Justin, after GMing this game, like Danny, are you ready to know the exact pages in all 4 books that you need to flip to reference things?
Oh yeah. No, yeah. Yeah, it's all between page 1 and 300.
Is there only 300? I think there's more than
Let's
300.
see.
There's about 300 pages.
Oh, okay.
I can never tell how big books are because I'm just like, oh man, 200 pages. That's so long. And then I'm like reading sci-fi that is like this thick. And
Yeah.
I just moved and I am restarting a book that I started and I like halfway through, but I'm finally trying to get through Oathbreaker, which is the 3rd book in the Stormlight Archives. It's so good, but it's like 1,200 pages. It's like a thick book of fantasy.
I would like Brandon Sanderson to like break off some of his like magic dust and like, you know, just like put it to a couple other fantasy science fiction writers that are out there who are kind of sitting on some big trilogies or big
please.
series.
Patrick Rothfuss, come on.
So you're seeing the moves, right, Monroe?
Yeah. I'm
Alright.
gonna choose Fueled by Anger.
I had an inkling that was going to be one of the ones you're going to choose, and you have one more to choose.
In the face
And
move.
then I'm gonna say Punch Where It Matters.
There we
They're
go.
all-
There we
They're
go.
all so good.
Perhaps
That
in the
makes
face.
sense.
But you have more
Alright.
options. That's why I get it.
So Mae, the firebending hammer, is fueled by anger and punches where it matters.
Where it hurts.
And that's it. You're just
Where-
creating a character. There's
There's
obviously, like I said, yeah. There's like I said, there's little more like nitty gritty stuff that we can finish up between now and the first episode. But for the most part, your character is created.
Breathed in life into it.
Sweet.
There was nothing.
Who
And there was
would like to go next?
Oh, I would like to volunteer.
So I would
Mhm.
suggest I would suggest rather than going one by one, we kind of all just go through it together now.
Okay.
I just
Oh,
wanted to
okay.
make
Yeah,
sure that
yeah.
we could do Monroe's
Yeah, that
character.
way we can do like.
Because,
it's,
oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
that way
Okay, for
You
sure.
know, we're all picking the playbook, and then we're all
Okay, for sure.
that speeds things up a little bit.
I
So
like
what do we do first?
that. So the first thing we got to do is choose playbooks, and
Yeah.
I feel like you guys are pretty set on those.
Well, no, not exactly. I think it's I think again, like what is interesting to me about this game is again to have that like strength and diversity and making sure that there is balance that is brought to like a play group. So I am interested in hearing, because I mean, like, would it be fun to all be like hardened orphans that are seeking revenge? I mean, maybe.
Sounds pretty good.
I will say it's very appropriate to this time period too. There's it's one of the things that it says in the core rulebook is like there's a lot of orphans in the Kyoshi era.
I think what's appealing to me is again the idea of a character having like a struggle, but it being like non-traditional or not super huge. So I've got a couple of ideas like around that. And like I had an idea for an icon playbook. And like thinking about it again, like what makes this person an icon? And it's basically that they are a celebrity and their parents were celebrities, like stage actors, and their grandparents were also stage actors. So this person is basically a Nepo baby, and they are, they're basically, their struggle is again, like everywhere I go, I'm recognized, and they expect me to be, this celebrity and want to, like stop and give up my time. And again, it's what Chaperone is like exposing in terms of the ugliness of the celebrity culture, and so that their goal is to sort of like get away from that, or hold that public image. Do they hold that public image, or do they actually want to see if they can go out there and do good? So that's sort of the characters that I like to create. Maybe they don't have like a trauma. In their life,
a struggle that they're
but it's still like a struggle. I had another idea for an outlaw, or no, not outlaw, outcast one, and it basically came from the idea of like college football rivalries in the SEC. Like, what if the entire family went to this one like college, and then this one person chose to go to another one, and it created so much tension in the family and the community that they became an outcast, not because of like, again, anything that is actually like earth shattering, but because of that. So those are sort of the characters who I like to play.
I love both of those ideas a lot.
Oh, I got more. Again,
also the Outcast is the only Republic City playbook that we haven't seen yet, because we saw the first two in our last campaign, and so
I'm more than happy to speak about like the ones that are really drawing me. If y'all want to hear about those too, or if Justin or Nick, you want to share some of what's going on for you.
I'm looking at the Razor.
So real clear about this one.
It's like the Rogue on steroids. I love playing Rogue type characters in TTRPGs, and the Razor feels like the Rogue, but the built-in emotional wounds that the Rogue like doesn't like if you create a Rogue in D&D, you're just playing to like fight things, but like the Razor is like, oh, here's the Rogue, but here's why they're like this.
Yeah, I mean, I really want to do the Broken. Mine wouldn't technically be an orphan. Abandoned at 16 by your only parent.
Okay, deep wounds in this group. Deep wounds.
Yeah,
that kind of have to be. Is kind of just how the game is built. So not. I wanted to very specifically say not like a super antagonistic person. So that niche is kind of filled if you're, thinking you can't be confrontational, because we can't all be confrontational. We're not all confrontational. This girl is not.
I also don't think my Razor would be like super confrontational.
Yeah. I mean, it seems like Mae's gonna be pretty confrontational, so that base is covered.
She's got that on lock for us.
I'm just saying we have our bases. Like the range is set. You can be anywhere you want on it.
Yeah.
So this is what I was thinking for my rogue. That it was an idea that really like captured me, and it's an airbender rogue. And I think we've seen in this world, like again, like you have like Earth Kingdom, Fire Nation, Water Tribes, Air nomads, right? But we haven't necessarily seen the nomadic aspect of the air nomads. And so, like in my mind, for this character, they would be again, how they would fit into a rogue is that they just wouldn't understand like the cultural context of personal property or boundaries, because they're living in a nomadic group. They're communal, right? In my mind, it's like, everybody is family. And so, if you need something from your cousin or your auntie or your uncle, like, you can go over to their spot and, grab what you need, because it's all going to be within the small community anyways. And so, again, looking at sort of the rogue playbook and thinking, okay, like what would be applicable? Like, again, like taking things, paying for things, like that's not necessarily like the first thing that would come to mind. So it's not so like, oh, I'm going to do this with a sinister bent to it.
Yeah.
It is, I'm going to do this because this is what I've been acculturated to. And like, why are you tripping? And I think so, like, to spin that out like further, like again, like this is like I think the inspiration really came for me. Y'all know that meme from the Olympics of like the two pictures of the Chinese gymnasts like looking at the Italians.
Oh,
like,
yeah. Biting the
like seeing and then like going at it. Like, I kind of want this character in my mind. I'm like, there's been a lot of resistance in the characters in the past. Like, what if there was a super suggestible character that was just like, oh, like I haven't experienced that before. That sounds like a great idea.
Let's do that.
So that's one that
also the idea. Sorry, yeah, the idea of an airbending rogue is very cool, and I like how like you're swinging the like the bad habits character feature of the rogue. You're saying it doesn't necessarily have to be like, oh, like I'm like a gambler, or like, oh, I'm like I need to steal things. It's like, oh, like this is how I was brought up. So these like, quote unquote bad habits are just sort of things that I just grew up thinking was normal, right?
Yeah.
Or it's something that now entering into other societies, you're like, oh, we put money on this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, so, yeah.
So that was one idea. Here's the other idea that I had, and it was for a pillar, which I really like as well, because I know the pillar hasn't been played. I've played like this character before in a one shot, and I was like, ooh, this functionality of this pillar move, the playbook specific one was super appealing to me, which is the idea of like earning team and spending team, which is again like the I don't even know the right word, but it's
resource.
Specifically for this one. And so I was like, all right, like what could it be? I was watching this latest season of House of the Dragon, and they focus on like a rat catcher character, and I was like, what if like this person is like animal control, and like their job is to basically lead a team of like animal control like people, and they basically will go into people's houses and like get your buzzard wasps out of there, like track down your rabaroos or whatever it is. But again, like it's like that's his squad. Is basically it's not military. It's not you know, like an elite fighting force, but it is like competent workers. And that's so I set him up sort of as a technologist as well, to basically have like, all right, like you can have snares and traps and ropes and, you know, all these different like era appropriate gadgets.
That's fun.
I really love that.
I don't think
Animal control in the
yet.
Avatar world must be insane.
It must be terrifying.
But the thing is, like, this dude has got it. He's got it. And the way that I played it,
he must be like a BA. Like,
I mean, like the
the
way that I wrote it out in this other one is like he's the oldest of 10, and so it's basically him and his siblings.
Oh, good lord.
He grew up doing animal control.
Yeah. And so like it's him and his siblings, and then like the reason why he's out in the world anyways because he got like exiled because like I had him set in Gaoling, which is the Beifong's name. So I was like, what if like there was something like that went wrong on a job at the Beifong estate, and the Beifongs were like, you need to get out town, right? And so he's going around. He's left his town, and now he's out and about. So those were the two ones that were really popping up during my thought process. So I wanted to share that with you because it's been inside of my head, and now it's out, and now I can rest.
I definitely feel that. I love both those ideas so much.
One day as a Patreon, we can. I also have a list, and some of them are just the ramblings of a mad mind, and aren't a character concept, but yet. Maybe we'll release it as like Patreon content. You can see the characters that could have been.
I do want to hear more about what your ideas are. If there's any more like backstory that you all are bringing.
Oh yeah, there's more.
Yeah, there's a lot more.
Are
we getting into it? Like I'm landing on the razor.
Yeah, you're landing on the razor.
I'm definitely in the broken. I think so. Ling-Hrung is going to be.
He has a name and everything.
Yeah, Ling-Hrung of Nowhere is what she calls herself because the Fifth Nation is gone. No longer a Fifth Nation. So Fifth Nation refugee. Her mother was a captain of the Fifth Nation. Her mother did something kind of crazy in one of the final battles of the eradication of the Fifth Nation, and basically got their ship, their crew, her daughter destroyed, in significant danger. So you know, has some guilt, has some insecurities, has some anger about what's happened to her. Which all ties into the reconciliation moves that we can learn about when we get there. But those are all part of the broken. And so, yeah, it's basically like you've had something horrible happen to you. And instead of like the idealist where it's like you had something horrible happen to you, but you've decided to like be great anyways. And like, it's like you had something horrible happen to you and, you know, you're surviving. And it's like all about like trying to heal that wound, and so you start off by sort of describing it, and so I'm excited to do that. I don't know if I should start now or wait for everybody to sort of land on their character concepts.
And this is one from the newest edition, right?
Yeah, I'm glad it just came out. The balance or my principles, are restoration and reinvention.
I love it.
And how do you spell the name?
I'm just gonna send it to you.
Okay. Awesome.
Do you want to? I think we've.
Let's hear from
Sam. What playbook he's thinking?
Oh, geez, I can't go now.
Yeah.
Right.
Justin, do you want to tell us a little bit more about the razor that you're planning on?
Sure. Yeah. They are they were stolen by the Fire Nation. They were a sandbender,
Hmm.
stolen by the Fire Nation and raised by the now current Fire Lord as an assassin. And in a kind of like Prince and the Pauper situation, a famous minstrel came to the Fire Nation capital, looks just like this person, and so they formed a bond, and he could see how like he could this singer, this minstrel, could see that he needed like an out and needed some way to like live and be free, so he, like, in a act of sacrifice, offered to swap places with him. And so now this character gets to go around trying to make up for his past actions, and all the while feeling guilty that he's only getting to do that because someone else is, I think in his mind, probably being tortured. It would have very quickly been discovered that it wasn't him anymore, I imagine.
Pretty easy. Hey, you don't know how to kill people anymore. What's
what's
that
going
about?
on?
What happened there?
I feel like, you know, on the flip side, like people who are paying money for this minstrel show, like you better have a great singing voice.
Yeah, no, that's actually fine. He's been able to keep up that the whole time.
Yeah.
Did a lot of singing in the shower. Do they have showers?
But like, you joke, but I actually, in my head, I do think that is part of it. I do think, like, singing maybe was something that comforted him when he was still under captivity, and so like it wasn't that much of a stretch. And I think that's why he did it too, because there was this like artistic connection between the two.
He wanted
of them
to be a singer.
Yeah.
I really like that. Sorry.
That's very fun. Very fun. Sam, did both of their decisions and concepts kind of inform yours at all?
They're so heavy. Y'all are so heavy.
It's not going to be as heavy in practice.
Like
until later.
Yeah.
I mean, like, well, like, I'll put it out there. Like, again, like, I think for my pillar, like, I was thinking of, like, again, like, a pretty, like, straightforward, you know, like, super friendly, like, very outgoing, like, trying to keep himself upbeat all the time, likes to organize people, likes to be social. So I think that's probably the way that I play that guy. However, I'm really feeling like this nomad monk, because I'm getting like hippie surfer vibes from him. And like I don't know, like there's I think everybody's hands down like undisputed favorite characters like are the singers in the Cave of Two Lovers. Everybody loves them, right? And I'm just like, can you be like the spiritual successor of like these people? So I think those are the way that I would be playing both of those characters. So again, they would be lighter, I think, than some of these other ones. So I don't know.
Some balance, right?
I like that they're lighter. I do think too, just hearing them, that the Airbender would have interesting relationships with the three of us.
Yeah. Just kind of very different perspective.
Yes. Yeah. Like the way you described him coming up in airbending, and like the way that they are a rogue, I think would be very interesting.
Yeah.
In relation to the other characters.
Also in relation to the air nomads, like what temple does he come from? How do the rest of the air nomads
I think because again, like reading the backstory in the core book, I'm like, oh, he's not actually part of this. Like again, like there is like in this time there is a pulling back from the air nomads from the rest, and he like his purpose specifically like is to wander. So you know what, I'll do it. I'll go with the Airbender Rogue.
Awesome. That's the one I was hoping you'd choose. Honestly, it seems
That's a very fun one.
All right. So y'all already chose your playbooks and concepts. So that is covered. Both Justin and Nick have already chosen a name. Did you have a name in mind already, Sam, or did you want to stew on that for a little bit?
I'm thinking Teto, Teto.
Okay.
And that's the fox squirrel from Miyazaki's Nausicaa of the Valley of the Winds.
Wow.
So
Good
like
reference.
Teto is like the little like creature who ends up biting her, but then like she hangs out with.
Love it.
I like that. I like that. It's a
Love
vibe.
it.
It's definitely a vibe.
I don't think I said out loud the name though. So
Oh, you didn't. You didn't.
I didn't. The name is Haru.
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 I saw it in your sheet. Sorry, I had that down.
I know you did. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure the listeners also.
All right. And so I'm just gonna choose someone. Nick, for fighting style and training. I forgot if you already said what you had in mind for that.
So training, I was gonna do waterbending.
Mm-hmm.
Fighting style. I'm gonna immediately throw you a curveball, Danny.
Heck yeah, I love it. Throw me, please do not hesitate, guys. Throw me whatever you want.
So, being in the Fifth Nation, Ling-Hrung knows how to fight, but she doesn't anymore. So, what should I put in fighting style? Can I do like combat
don't-
medic?
Oh, you don't fight. You know how to fight, but you don't anymore.
Yes.
You don't anymore. You don't know how
You don't
to
choose to.
No, it's
Yeah.
it
So
is
maybe
a choice,
your-
sort of, but she
yeah.
does not break it.
So maybe
Wow.
your fighting style is less like heavy impact from like water whips and stuff, and more like you use water whips to like more like entangle people, almost like water bolas kind of, or like water lassos.
No, I'm thinking like straight up like healing.
You don't fight.
Support. Like
You
yeah,
just don't
like,
fight.
I
Oh.
will mess with like I'll like maybe like freeze some water under the enemies, but it's
Yeah.
not like we're not.
Would you
we're not
raise
firing.
would you raise fog or mist?
Yeah,
Like,
a lot of
so,
that,
like,
a lot
yeah.
of like
Yeah.
messing
So
with
there's a
their
fighting
ability.
style. Yeah, I feel like combat medic and like purely defensive.
I do like fog. I like
Mm.
defensive fog as like a good name for it.
Mist shroud.
Ooh.
That's
I cast
Mystery.
obscuring mist. All right, it's back to Nick's turn. What do? I cast obscuring mist.
I can also cast heal.
Wait, where is this in the PDF?
So you gotta go to
I think I'm looking at the wrong PDF.
yeah.
Yeah, no. So yeah, I think it's gonna be like basically no fighting, just healing in combat or support.
I love it. That's very fun.
That's
And,
so interesting.
The
Disruption of the
broken
enemy.
starting technique already catered itself to that as well. So
I know. I'm so excited.
all right, Sam, what did
Present.
you have in mind for Teto's training and fighting style?
I would think. Well, let's see. Background, I would think would be wilderness, because he's roaming around, and then I'll go with monastic for second background.
Okay, all right.
Let's see. Airbending, training, fighting style. I mean, like, I think that he's also like maybe more evasive as well, because again, he's in. I think in my mind, he sticks to the airbenders like principles. So, I mean, like, ooh, let's call it slipstream. That sounds cool,
Ooh.
right?
Ooh,
Ooh,
fun.
that does sound cool. That sounds really cool.
That
right?
sounds very cool.
And that's like that's like a flying thing, right? Isn't it? Term.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
like, well, it's the air created by like something moving through the air.
Yeah, let's go with the thing that sounds cool and then figure out the details later.
Yeah,
I like
no,
it. I love
Absolutely.
that. I love that.
That's
All
how I play TTRPGs.
We
I'm
live
I'm just
and
gonna
die by
say
the rule of
something
cool
cool,
here.
and then I'll make it make sense later.
I love it. So airbending with a funny style of slipstream. All right. Thank you so much, Monroe. Sounds like you have to get going though.
Yeah, it's getting close to me. I'd have to go to work.
Bye,
All right.
Monroe. Have fun at
Bye.
work.
Really excited.
So excited to see more of Mae the Hammer.
Yes.
Yeah, I have some ideas, so I'll just shoot them over to you, Danny.
Heck yeah, heck yeah.
May the hammer bless you as well.
May your hammer be mighty. Classic. All right, airbending slipstream. I love it. I have no idea what the hell it means, but that doesn't matter. I love it. Justin,
Yeesh.
what I got in mind? I already see you have it in there. So.
I have it already. He's a sandbender,
Mhm.
as I mentioned already. I don't know if I mentioned it already. I think I did.
No, well, you said he was from the Sandbender, like he was
From the
taken
Siwang Desert. He is a
Yeah.
sandbender. He creates spider snakes are an actual earthbending like creature that's mentioned in like the fauna of the world. So he creates like little sand spider snakes that crawl up people, maybe like go down their throats, maybe just like assail them.
Ah.
Yeah. He's an assassin. I don't know.
Yeah,
What do you?
you
what?
just casually created one of the most horrible ways to die that I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah, my throat feels dry.
So-
Yeah, I need some water.
Hold on.
It's
Let-
literally you're literally Pharaoh's cursing people just on the fly.
Let me just tell you, the original concept for that was that he's like, just a steady stream of sand pouring down someone's throat, and I'm like, that's a little
Okay,
too
that's
dark for Avatar.
Sandboarding people.
So let's pull back on that just a touch.
Welcome
All
to
right.
Dustfire Media. We are inventing new forms of torture.
So earthbending, terrifying sand spider snakes. I love it.
I do
It
kind of want to
looks-
interrogate spider snakes because it feels like of all of the animals to combine it with, like why are you going to choose the one with the most legs?
Yeah.
Like
I'm not gonna lie, in my head I envision them like the face huggers. That feels like what a spider snake kind of looks like.
Oh, I am.
Or
You know what I mean?
Literally every
or,
time we add something to this world, it just like, man, I really don't want to live there. Oh my god.
yeah. I mean, I
You're like,
immediately
hey, you know how
imagine-
Ko was
yeah.
like the most terrifying and like just
we thought
reality
he was.
altering thing, and then Justin was like, hey, how about a bunch of tiny ones everywhere? Fuck.
And that's like, I don't know. Speaking of Kyoshi, Father Glowworm is a spirit
Yeah.
that shows up in the Kyoshi novels. He's literally just a pulsating eye that like stares into your soul. Like that
It's
is
terrifying.
that is some like chthonic
Yeah.
nightmare fuel.
I've actually met that guy, I think.
Yeah, and I mean, speaking of spirits too, I really love this sort in this era. We're sort of on the like last leg of this sort of spirits declining presence in the physical world. This is sort of the period of time where they're retreating back to the spiritual world, right?
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
there's still some like spiritual influence, like they're the spiritual sites that the Air Nomads are trying to protect, and so some very fun things there. All right. It looks it's Sam, you already chose your backgrounds. And you already say to them as well. Justin and Nick, what did you guys have in mind for your up to two backgrounds?
Like May, I also chose military and privileged.
Nice.
I think it's like an adopted sort of thing. He was like not beloved, but I think Zoryu made him think he was his father figure in a sense.
Ah, yes. The gaslighting and gatekeeping has already begun.
Yes.
Now we just need to get some girl bossing in. Lord.
Yes.
There you go.
Got ourselves
Who's
kicked.
gonna be girl boss? All right, Nick.
I went with Outlaw for the Fifth Nation connection. And
Mhm.
I also gave her the background of urban because I think in the time since that whole thing happened, she's just kind of been like surviving in whatever cities she can, however she can,
Mm.
and sort of has that experience and I don't know, on her belt, under her belt.
I like it.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
Like it a lot.
We already have some hometowns established. It looks like it's one of the air temples. Which air temple specifically did Teto come from, Sam?
None. He's a nomad.
Like
oh,
a true,
nomad.
like,
Okay.
like
oh, true nomad. So you're born into a nomadic lifestyle. Oh,
Again,
okay,
I can y'all want a lore drop? Like yes or no? Because I got one.
well, don't give too much now.
Don't give too
Especially if
much
it'd
now,
be
right?
interesting to reveal later.
Yeah.
But
No,
yeah,
I can sort of set up the like what I'm thinking because again I
Yeah.
did a lot of research. Don't tell my work. As again like there's establishment around the like the air temples, but again like for me I kept sticking on the word nomad and I'm like where's the nomadic aspect of this, where is it coming in, and I didn't find a lot about it, so I made it up myself. But basically I was thinking that again like to bring it back to the era, like Kyoshi, when we are playing her, like again like there's a lot of people who are just like who is this person, who is this avatar, like again like there's the mistaken identity at the beginning, and then the avatar like previous to her, Kuruk, was considered a failed avatar, right?
Mhm.
And Kyoshi even in the novels is just like, oh man, Yang Chen is like the like S tier
best.
avatar,
Yeah.
like everybody is
Yeah.
like still like you know like on about her legacy. And so I was like, what if again Yang Chen during her time was the bridge, and she made agreements with the spirits that that humans wouldn't interfere with like these spiritual sites, right? And one of the ways that she wanted to preserve that legacy was to basically like recruit like charismatic leaders from like airbenders and then have them build their own tribes to wander the earth to check in on these spiritual sites. So there are basically these things called spirals, which are these like air nomad groups. And so there's I don't know, like a dozen of them. Some are super big and some are super small. So Teto is from one of those, which is basically again just kind of feeling the winds, going there, resolving like spiritual issues if need be as a collective, and then just sort of moving on. So that's the way that in my mind I was able to resolve the nomadic aspects of this world, and then tie it into like the established canon of Yang Chen moving through the Kuruk and moving into Kyoshi. And again, there can still be that detachment element that comes in it, because again, like these people are just like literally like moving through. So like there is, that aspect of movement. And so in my mind, like he was just born into this because it was set up at the end of Yang Chen's life, and the leader of his spiral was one of the younger ones who was selected to be a leader, and now he's super old, or she's super old.
That's super cool.
Yeah,
that's very cool.
I really like that. Very, very fun. Hometowns. Justin.
Born in the Siwang, grew up in the Fire Nation Palace.
All right. Awesome. Nick.
I'm gonna say, she was, her home was, for all intents and purposes, her mother's ship. So the Smiling Wolffish was that ship, and she, I guess, the closest thing to home now is like maybe there's like a small like a couple members of her ship's crew did survive and have like a small little like rundown like bed and breakfast or something in let's say, sorry, I'm trying to think of a coastal town in the Earth Kingdom off the top of my head. I kind of wanted to use one that already exists.
Here, I'll help. Let's see. We can pull up the map.
Oh, what coast are you thinking of? Are you thinking of the West Coast, the East Coast, the Southern Coast, like Southeast?
Let's do kind of southeast, like on the Fire Nation side. What would eventually become the Fire Nation colonies?
Yeah, there's let's see.
That is,
I mean,
Southwest,
Shin Village.
Southwest.
Yeah, that's my bad.
Shin Village is a bit more south, but Udao.
Udao
is
works.
one that would eventually become. Well, actually, no. Udao would be a.
Like it was established as a Fire
It
Nation
was
colony?
established as a Fire Nation.
Okay,
Mhm.
all right. Oh, well, maybe we can do we can do whatever we want. We can't. It's our story.
Exactly. Yeah.
So maybe it is the Earth Nation king or the Earth Nation predecessor to Udao. Like we're just saying like
Sure.
no, there was something there beforehand.
Yeah.
And we can call it
Oh, the also the episode where there's the fortune teller and the volcano.
oh
Makapu
That-
Village is there as
Makapu
well
Village.
too.
Oh yeah, that's a really small one, right? Yeah,
It's
I kind of
super
like
small.
that.
Yeah, small farming
Makapu
village.
I like the idea of it being very small. So let's make it, instead of like a rundown bed and breakfast, they are like fishermen. So they're still like able to use like some of their like sailing knowledge, but it's like they aren't really fishermen either, so it's not going super well. And that's the closest thing she has to home now.
I like it. I love it. Sam, do you have any idea you want to share the physical description of Teto at all?
Yeah, I would say he looks exactly like me.
You can just do that if you want.
I don't know. I mean, like, I would just think that medium build. I would say like the only thing is again like to bring him away from his group. Like I'll come up with something, but basically he's not fully shaven yet. He's basically he's shaved, but then there's been like a month of growth on his head. So no tattoos. I would say that I think the way that I think about him, like he does have like a cloak, basically like a dust brown or bark brown like cloak, and he's got a way to sort of grip on the end of it, and then there's a move in Kung Fu called monk kicks out robes, and I'm thinking about that in terms of he would do this specific like kick out, and it would basically wrap like these weighted strings around his ankles, and he'd be holding onto his cloak in his hand, and he would create a gust of wind that would basically parachute him backwards and escape from a situation.
I love that so much.
Awesome.
So but I think again, like he's just a traveling monk, you know.
He's just a guy.
He's just a guy.
He's just a guy.
He's a little dusty, you know. He's got just like some dusty old clothes and a smile on his face, and you know,
he's a socially acceptable amount of dusty.
I mean, yeah. We have to emphasize that, you know, it's like he's not too like dirty where he's gonna be, but you know,
yeah. We'll throw back the campaign too there.
No, I know. I was like, and then he starts painting his face.
Whoa.
Is that identity theft?
I think also like I do have to say like I like what I loved about the Lin end cloth character. Like one, it did take me a little while to realize like, oh, wait a second. I was like, end cloth. That's such a such a unique name.
There was someone else who took a really long time as well.
It took me a very long time. I didn't.
It's a cool name. It's a cool name.
No, it's not bad. Yeah. But
All
I
right.
like the way that Will played her, like very risk averse. She was like, no, I don't actually want to get involved, and I kind of love that. Like that's like
it's a nice
like,
change.
Not everybody's gonna
very
be like I'm gonna like rip out a throat and stab in the eyes with arrows. Like
Not everyone's gonna Jing Min.
I feel like that's I think that you kind of got that on lock, man. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
If somebody else tries, you're gonna hit them with a trademark, cease and desist.
Exactly. Oh wow. All right, very fun, very fun. Justin, how does Haru look like?
It doesn't look like anything.
Haru is
It's just featureless. No.
just
No,
his face,
it's like
their face are stolen by Ko.
it's like no, it's like I've been watching Agatha all along, and like there's part of the curse is like when you say something that you're not supposed to know, it like it like makes it static noise and you don't hear it. That's like you look at Haru and you just can't see anything.
You just can't see.
No, he's I'd say like probably medium build too, probably like 15, 16, I think. He's got a probably like a number 1 haircut all around. Actually, maybe no, it's a bit more than that. It's like
A longish buzz cut.
not long, but like there's
Flat top?
it's not a flat top. It's like a couple steps from a buzz cut. You know what I mean? Like it's not quite. You can't really see his scalp, but you can tell the hair is like super super short. He's got like really intense eyebrows. He's wearing like spectacles, but like tinted spectacles. He's got like a dark black like kimono style shirt on, and biwa slung around his back.
What's a
Which is
biwa?
like a biwa is like a Japanese stringed instrument.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Oh, I thought it might have been like a nunya.
Hold the pun be.
I just typed all that in and I loved it. Couple steps from a buzz cut. You can't see his scalp, but his hair is super super short. I love it. Awesome.
How bad are you guys hearing my keystrokes right now?
I hear them.
I type on my keys. I don't stroke them.
Okay.
So how?
You know what? I'm gonna
Ling-Hrung
blame
look?
myself for that one. That was on me. Moving on.
That's weird, Nick. All right. How does Ling-Hrung look?
So she is 16 years old. She's a very rough, like chop cut. Like maybe it's a bowl cut. It was definitely done by herself. Maybe she had scissors. Maybe, I don't know. And yeah, it's like darker brown hair. Her other features are very, Water Nation, light brown skin, dark brown hair, blue eyes. But her blue eyes are like almost like white with how bright they are. Just like very piercingly blue eyes, which is something I've done before, but whatever. Sue me. And her skin is like light brown, like most waterbenders, but it's like a touch darker. You can tell it's like sun-kissed, more so than like the tribes at the poles because they're constantly wearing parkas and stuff. So kind of like that.
I love it.
I really feel like we need to get our crew to a salon.
It's not going great.
I don't know. I kind of like my hair. I like the haircut.
Good. It's a good thing.
I'm googling now. Now you're forcing me to Google like number 3 haircut.
All right. Do we? I know that Monroe is not here, but Justin, you think we should still go through
number
the history
4.
questions?
It's like a
Number
number
four?
4 haircut. For
When you
those
go so when you go to Song, you say it's still number 4 all around. So
yeah.
All right.
That's-
Yeah.
Like no
Nice and simple.
taper, no fade, no nothing, no lineup.
Nope.
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 I love it.
So we're doing this is how we're doing it.
Let's start going into the more nitty gritty of the playbook stuff, and I want to start with Sam. I want to start with Teto. And I think even though Monroe's gone, Justin, do you think it's fine if we go over the history, the connections?
Yeah, I think we should.
Yeah,
I think we should.
let's do it. Yeah. All right. So yeah, we'll do that in a little bit. Well, let's start with Sam first. So right off the bat, let's see here. Right off the bat, it looks like that the rogue starts with 1 creativity, 0 focus, -1 harmony, and +1 passion. And you can add 1 to any of those stats. Add them
I can
there
look
on
at my
the-
basic moves. Because
Oh, yeah.
creativity is what? That's trick and
Yeah, creativity is assess the situation, and trick.
trick. Focus is rely on your skills and training.
Mm-hmm.
Harmony
as well
is
as well as defense and maneuver techniques.
Oh, that's right.
Harmony is plead and guide and comfort, as well as evade and observe. And passion is going to be your advance and attack techniques, as well as intimidate and push your luck.
Gosh, y'all, I don't know. I'll take suggestions.
So just the sort of personality you've sort of given for your character, creativity comes to mind for me, just in terms of just pure like narrative options. Let's see here. The rogues.
Yeah, I'm thinking that or
Mhm.
passion, not so much for intimidate or attacking, but more for pushing luck.
Yeah, because you do already start with +1 in both of those, both creativity and passion. So pushing one of those to a 2 would be very cool.
Would be fun.
Fun.
Come back to me. I'll make
All
a
right.
decision.
All right. For sure. Justin.
Yeesh. I'm adding mine to
Haru.
creativity for the
Creativity.
because of the like artistic stuff.
Yeah. I like it. Let me just. All right, and Nick. Broken. Did you already add your starting stats to your character sheet or not yet?
Oh
Yes, I
man, the broken. Oh, that's rough.
Yep. All right. So, as you could probably tell from Sam's reaction, I start with a -1 in everything.
Whoa!
Oh yeah, that's where we're at.
I love it.
So
Well, there's definitely a reason for that, and
Yes, there is.
through
I'm not
play, that'll
So-
definitely change.
yeah, one can hope. So
and
what
it
we're
looks like
doing
you
is,
already put your +1 in passion.
yes, and
Right.
to help and or hinder your decision, Sam, it is helpful to kind of look through the moves in your playbook and kind of like see some ones you like, because sometimes they're like, hey, instead of rolling this for what's like a normal move,
Yeah.
where you can roll this, and you can kind of start seeing like a theme build up around a certain stat. So that can be helpful.
Same thing. He can't hear us.
Oh no. Can you hear us now?
Yeah, so we'll talk about that again. Maybe we can
Yeah.
move on when we're figuring out the technical issues. We can always come back.
Yeah. Let's do that.
For sure.
Let's go over the. Let's just do the Razors stuff right now. Let's go over some of those more Razor specific decisions for Justin's character.
Fine.
For Haru. So, do you have any decisions you need to make right now for your making amends?
I do. I need to choose my mistakes.
Your 4 mistakes. Yep.
My 4 mistakes. Oh my gosh. I mean, he's been sent on countless missions, so there's probably a lot he's done. I actually let me think on these.
Okay.
I want these to be I want these to be juicy, and I want them to give like some fodder for you.
Heck yeah. Nick, do you have anything for me? Right now we're waiting on the only other players we have.
Yeah. So, we have in the Broken, we have the reconciliation sort of subsystem. You basically pick 3. So there is a terrible tragedy that I've suffered in my past. You feel regret for your role in it, sorrow over what you had lost, and fear over moving forward. So I have to choose 3 different aspects of this wound, and they give you the choice of 5. Each aspect is intrinsically linked to the conditions of the game. So afraid, angry, guilty, insecure, and troubled. So the ones I picked, and I will explain. So the backstory is basically her mother was a captain and a well-respected one. And during one of these takedowns of the Fifth Nation fleet, turned her ship directly into a very foolish charge to lead a small detachment of other ships from the Fifth Nation into what was essentially just a suicide run. And so I have decided to underline guilty. And that's just what it tells you to do. I really am going to make a separate field for it, but regardless. So I picked guilty as one of the options, which is described as you made the wrong decision. If only you had been wiser. And so Ling-Hrung's version of that is she feels she made the wrong decision by not speaking up to her mother, not stopping her from doing this. Feeling like she should have done more to save the family she had, essentially, which, I mean, a ship is a family in the Fifth Nation. Her mother, so the next one I did insecure. And so the description of that is you were betrayed by someone, if only you hadn't trusted them. For this one, I did her mother betrayed her in the height of her ship's destruction, naming Ling-Hrung as the acting captain of their ship and swinging off to board an enemy vessel. Just leaving her to do whatever on a ship that is literally sinking. And then finally, I did anger, which is you lost control of yourself. If only you had kept calm. She feels she lost control of herself when the pressure of the responsibility of being acting captain overtook her as her friends and family were under fire. She started ferociously attacking every enemy without mercy or concern, and she accidentally cut down her ship's quartermaster, her big brother, quote unquote, Tolim.
Probably informs your combat decisions now, huh?
Maybe those things.
You went from one extreme to the other, huh? All right. And while we're here on your broken Ling-Hrung, let's just right off the bat go ahead and have you choose your 2 moves as well that you start with.
All right. Yeah, so I decided to go with Life Happens Where You Are, which is when I assess a situation, I may always ask one of 3 questions, even on a miss. Who could be a friend or ally? Who here is most in need of help?
And does anything here belong to my past? If so, what? So just some extra question. I can basically always get a tiny bit of information.
I like that. I like that.
When I do assess the situation. And the other move I chose was second chances. If when I offer a chance to stop fighting and talk to an opponent after I have advanced and attacked during the exchange, I can plead with them and use passion instead of harmony, which is why I chose passion as the one stat that is not -1. It is just a straight 0. So after you plead, you may shift your balance 1 step even on a miss. So I'm going to be rolling with balance a lot on this character because my stats are abysmal. So having some ways to be able to shift that balance pretty easily, very
fun. Speaking of balance, and I forgot to do this with Monroe, but I can always shoot her a text between now and our first episode. The Broken starts with the balance, and the 2 principles are restoration and reinvention. Right off the bat, you can start with your center is at center. It's at 0 across the board. But you can right off the bat, you can shift your balance 1 step towards either restoration or reinvention if you'd like to.
Yeah.
So you can start off balance if you'd like.
I will, and I will start with +1 in reinvention, which gives me
awesome
restoration.
I'm just gonna go ahead and clarify that this is your balance. So yeah.
Also, I think I really love the balance mechanic in this game as well.
It's very fun. I think you see like your center's gonna be on the left there.
Okay,
and your
so
current
it's the
balance
opposite,
is gonna be
right?
on the right.
So
no,
I still start at
balance
0, right? Oh no, because I started.
So your center is your center is gonna be 0. The center is the one that's harder to change. The center is the one that changes.
Oh,
as
I
you
start off center. Not
Yeah,
I start
you start
with
off
my
center.
balance shifted. Okay, I misinterpreted what you were saying. That's
Oh
fine.
no, you're good. Yeah, sorry. It's I think it'll always be one of the most confusing things to sort of voice in this right now. But your center is 0 right now, but you start off center at it looks like +1 reinvention. All right.
I will not be moving my balance because I already start off at +2 connection.
All right. That is good to know.
Stay there.
You want to go +1? No? Just take yourself out of the narrative before we even start.
I mean,
You all chose
if I shift
3.
myself in if I shift myself to 3, I'm like dangerously close to being shifted off.
Exactly.
If I go to 1, I'm like 1 away because my end is 0. Like I don't have my other principle unlocked at all. Like I can't go positive in the other direction.
Yeah, both of you have chosen like very like advanced playbooks. Like in my opinion, I'm looking at them like, oh man, you got to remember a lot of different things about a lot of different things.
I love it.
We do. We did not get into the recovery mechanics because we do not have time to get into the recovery mechanics. You will see it as we play.
Yes,
it's gonna be cool.
Definitely,
I promise.
Definitely. Justin, since you already said your balance things, did you make a decision for your mistakes?
I have 3 of them.
You have 3 of them. Okay.
I have 3 of them. I have to.
Should we do?
I think I know what it's gonna be.
Okay. Should we cover Sam's character if he's ready for now, and then come back to you?
Yes. Oh, you know what? Actually, no. I've got all mine.
Okay.
Yep. I was just looking at it and I realized what it is. I think I destroyed someone trying to save me from myself or my masters.
Okay.
And that is there was a fire sage named Fire Sage Lee who I started to like make a connection with, and she became really concerned for me. But as one of my missions to eliminate political rivals to Fire Lord Zoryu was to take out any fire sages that weren't loyal to him, and she ended up being one of these people. So I don't know what happened to her. I delivered an innocent into the clutches of my master. I can play. I want to play. Actually, let's play around to this. I think this is like how old to make this person, because there's two that are kind of similar in my head. Actually, no. Let's make this. Yeah, there's like one of the rival clans, the Maya clan.
The Maya clan.
Miya. They had a 3-year-old that is the heir to like the head of their clan, and as leverage, I was tasked with stealing that child and bringing it to Fire Lord Zoryu to have that child be raised in as a retinue of the Fire Lord.
So it's from a Maya clan. Is that a clan that you've just created?
Yes. There's like
so we don't
on page 114. There's like a list of clan names.
Yeah. Okay. Because I mean, it's initially when you think of a rival clan to Zoryu's clan, right away Sawan comes up.
Sawan, but like, yeah, I was trying to do something.
I mean, he is trying to sort of break down all the clans and just establish.
Yeah, that's why I'm trying to hit
the one thing.
Yes,
okay,
trying to hit.
Okay,
some
I
of
like
the
that.
other
I like
clans.
that.
I didn't want to have like.
Okay.
I think there's obviously a lot of missions that go against the Sawan clan, but I was trying to like branch out and pick out some other things as well too. I think I badly injured someone in an accident or moment of weakness, and I think that was this singer, this minstrel. And I think maybe
so guilty. Jeez.
Oh yeah, yes, yep. And I think maybe too that's even why it was discovered quickly. Like maybe it was like a burn mark on his like arm or something.
You're not Haru.
I'm not a good person. Not a good person. And then the last one is I trained someone younger than me using the same alpha methods. And I think the last mission that Haru went on before he started thinking I need to escape somehow was he got sent back to the Siwang Desert and he stole a sandbender, a young sandbender like himself, and brought him back to the palace.
What's this young sandbender's name?
Oh, I don't know.
Lil
Spokey.
Lil Duck.
Lil Smokey.
Lil Snooky.
Let's go with Chen.
Chen? All right.
Chen, yeah. Chen's probably like 10.
10. Yeah, you ruined their life. Now you need to live with that.
I mean, that's the whole point of this. Like, I'm supposed to pick a mistake. Like, these are not. These are mistakes. These are not like, oh no, I forgot to pick up bread from the grocery store on the way home. Like, these are life-changing, ruining people's lives sort of mistakes.
Yeah.
Well, at least you're admitting your mistakes.
Exactly, right? Or at least you as a player is admitting your character's mistakes right now.
Yeah, I hope I would have the like wherewithal to call these things like these are not good things. No one should go and do any of these things.
Hey, you ever trained a 10-year-old to be an assassin? It's like The Professional. Moves.
Oh, I have not. Let me take a quick look.
Not looked at those. If you want, we can. It looks like Sam here already has his decisions for his playbook features, so we can quickly go over that with Sam's character. If you want to choose those.
Yeah. Give me a moment. I'm gonna write a quick note.
All right, Sam. So it looks like you already have some bad habits for Teto picked out.
I don't know if I'd call them bad. It's just,
habits.
It's just sometimes you need things and the things are there and then you put your hands on the things and it comes with you.
They're nothing but innocent tendencies, right?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. So bad habits, again, you pick up some bad habits over the year. Bad. Most other people are pretty set on trying to get you to stop. But maybe you can bring your friends along for the ride. Choose 4 bad habits you indulge. So I chose casual thievery and pickpocketing. Again, if I need something and it's there, you know what? Let's share, everybody.
Why not take it, right?
Trespassing, like there are literally like what? There are no walls. Like what's a boundary?
Exactly. What are borders?
Daredevil stunts and charming insults of dangerous people. Should I go through and read sort of what the feature is? or are we good on that?
Yeah, I think it might be. That's not the longest, so I think it might be fun.
Sure.
Yeah.
I think the way it breaks down is that if I indulge in any of these on my own or convince another party member to do it with me, then it has an effect. So if I do it on my own, I roll with survival. I shift my balance towards survival and roll with survival. On a hit, pull it off and vent your frustrations. Clear a fatigue or conditions equal to your survival, minimum of 0. If you have no fatigue or conditions, mark growth. On a 10+, you also gain a windfall, a boon, or an opportunity. Your bad habits paid off this time. On a miss, you're caught by somebody dangerous or powerful, and they complicate your life.
I love that.
If I get somebody else to join in with me, if I get somebody else to join in with me, shift your balance towards friendship and roll with friendship. On a hit, you and your friend pull it off and grow closer. Each of you makes the other inspired. On a 10+, you also obtain some useful resource or information and become prepared. On a miss, something goes terribly awry. You can either take the heat yourself or shift your balance twice towards survival and leave your friend in the lurch.
I love it
Rogue.
so much. I love it. And since we've already talked about both of your principles, friendship and survival, would you like to start off center?
I think I'm gonna again, like in terms of my balance, I'm gonna shift one towards friendship. And this also relates to the history question of like, why are you committed to this group? In my mind, again, Teto has split off from his spiral, and he's kind of lonely, and he kind of wants to hang out with people again. And so that's the reason why he's committed to the group, is because, hey, you know, you all seem like great people, and like let's hang out and be buddies. So he's super friendly. Again, I like to think of him as highly suggestible. So like we're gonna play that out and see where it leads us.
I am so excited. Did you already have choices in mind for your 2 starting moves?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with.
Right.
I think I'm going to go with a Slippery Eelhound. When you defend and maneuver, choose seize a position to escape the scene. Foes must mark an additional 2 fatigue to stop you, and you may bring any allies within your reach when you retreat.
I like that.
So
I really like that.
That's the first one. I'm not set on the second one, and here's why. And again, please tell me no if it's overstepping, but I kind of want to take a move from another playbook. That's a big old head shake from Justin there.
Yeah. So that's already an option when you advance. And
yeah,
so
I think again then I'm gonna stake it out. That's definitely, if I get my growth, I'm gonna take this other move as well.
Okay, for sure.
So I feel like let's see. I'm between Roguish Charm, which is when you plead with an NPC or guide and comfort someone by flattering them and empathizing with them. Mark 1 fatigue to roll with creativity instead of harmony, and harmony is my low stat. And casing the joint, which is when you assess a situation. Add these questions to your list. You may always ask 1 extra question from these options, even on a miss. What here is the most valuable or interesting to me? Who or what is the most vulnerable to me? Who here is in control, wealthiest, has the most power? So I'm between those 2 from this book.
Okay. Right away, I like, me personally, I like the Roguish Charm better. Just because we already do have a character with one of those modified assess a situation moves, you know? Well, ultimately, it does come down to you.
They're different, too. They're very different.
They are very different. They are very
not
different.
working the same way for sure.
And I mean, like, I like it, again, like, as in terms of the guide and comfort aspect. I kind of keep it a secret and then do a big reveal later on.
Sure.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
I don't see why not.
because I completely have it chosen. It's just, it's got to be dramatic. No, I gotta.
Yeah.
I'll think on it a little bit more.
All right, heck yeah. It looks like that Justin already has 2 moves
I have
chosen
chosen.
for
Yes.
Haru.
I have chosen. I'm a people person. When you watch someone interact with another person, roll focus on a 7 to 9, ask 1, on a 10 plus, ask 2. And I could take +1 on going to act on the answers. I can ask, are you lying right now? What are you most afraid of? How are you vulnerable to me? And how can I get you to mark the condition blank? And on a miss, I can't get a good read on them, mark a condition in frustration. I almost didn't take this because I don't really love the name of it, because I don't see Haru as a people person.
Yeah.
So like I think it's just he's like very good at getting his mark, right?
And obviously the name doesn't need to necessarily inform like
for
how
sure.
the move is flavored, right? Like I mean
He's
with
just good.
like with Teto is playbook feature, it's called bad habits, but we're not really necessarily flavoring them as like bad habits, right?
He's really good at picking out his mark and figuring out things about his mark. That's why he's good at reading people.
I love it.
And then I had to take winning is everything. When you choose to use dirty tactics, targeting an innocent your foe is trying to protect, throwing sand in their face, etc. At the start of a combat exchange, instead of using one of the standard approaches, say what you do and just take a 10 plus instead of rolling the stance move. I become favored for this exchange and can choose techniques from any approach. And at the end of the exchange, your opponent may call out your disgraceful behavior or lack of integrity to shift my balance twice.
I have seen firsthand how fun this move can get with Jingmin, so it is. It's
very
pretty crazy.
it feels right for an assassin too.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
I think we already went over Nick's moves, right? Yeah. I think we can just move into the questions. These juicy questions.
Do you want to do fighting techniques, or are you gonna let us think on that?
I'm gonna let you guys think on that. I think there's so many to choose from. We're gonna choose those between now and the first actual episode.
Sounds
yeah. So let's ask some of these history questions first, and let's go through Teto's first. Sam.
All right.
So the first history question for Teto is, how did you come to feel that the only way to survive was to break the rules?
And I have written here, wait, what are rules?
Off a great start.
They weren't even established. They were never even established for Teto. I love it. I love it. I feel like there's no word that needs to be said there. So the next one, who kept trying to reach a kind handout towards you only to be rebuffed?
I'm not sure if I see Teto as that type of person, but I think what I'll say is like maybe it was maybe like a younger nomad in his spiral who was like looking up to him. And like a little cousin who would always like tag along and want to be him. And I think like there would be like sort of like, oh, like you're like I'm gonna go off and do my own thing, like I'm older than you. So I would think that would be the person. Let's name her. Let's call her Nossie.
It's like, Teto, are you going out? Bring Nasi.
Yeah.
Oh, Auntie.
Yeah. I mean,
I brought her last time.
Yeah, I think it's just sort of like he this person, Nasi would take Teto very seriously, and Teto would not take her seriously. And so again, him leaving the spiral, like I think he's like reflecting on that and being like, oh, like like I'm thirsty, and usually like if I was like, oh, I'm thirsty, Nasi would be there with water for me, and now I gotta get on. So like sort of this absence of this presence that had been in his life, but he hadn't considered before. And then again, like flipping that, like his departure, he didn't think it was gonna, like he was like, oh, I'm gonna do my own thing, and I'm sure that it was Nasi took it worse.
And for the third question, we have who was ready to do anything to break you out of your bad habits, or in Teto's case, your abnormal tendencies.
I don't know. Again, I actually don't think that there's an answer for this one.
I mean, like, maybe was there like someone who sort of saw like how you were sort of acting, not really acting,
and said like, "Hey, you can't.
yeah.
That's not how we do things
like
here."
in terms of the social norms, and they were like, "Hey, let me try to show you here."
I would think so. Then maybe maybe a bright, helpful deputy in a town that I happened to cross.
Could also
And
be
It's
again,
interesting too because
say it again.
Sort of, it could be Feng, the fire sage that we're
The Earth Sage.
Earth Sage.
Ooh,
Yeah.
yeah.
We talked about a
it
fire
could be
sage
fun,
earlier.
yeah.
Just so that like
Yeah,
influence is like
yeah.
there. Not
Yeah,
that it
so
has
we
to
can,
be, but
yeah. That way we have some way to also establish them as like somewhat of like an actual ally too, rather than
Yeah,
just,
I think again I like your suggestion, Nick, because again, like in my head, I'm just like, oh, like this is somebody who Teto happened upon in his travels, and was like, oh, we don't do it that way. Instead, it could be Feng saying, oh, we don't do it that way.
exactly.
I'll put Feng.
Awesome. I like it. And the fourth question here is, what is your favorite possession that you stole, swiped, or otherwise acquired illegitimately?
I'm gonna say basically like an ink set, like quills, basically anything to like draw different things. So like a quill set, a sketchbook, again, like, and so that he can draw things.
I love it. It's gonna be the second iteration of Rozak's plan book.
Yeah, but no words this time, just doodles.
No words, just doodles. I love it. Rozak would love that so much.
It's like, you got words, man. Like, look, these lines, they mean things. It's a circle.
I love it.
it's all coming together.
And it looks like you already have an answer to this last question. Why are you committed to this group or purpose, or your friends that you chose to embark on this?
I think that again, like he's been wandering and he got lonely and got into this this situation with these other people and was like, oh, like, hey, we share common cause here, we've bonded, like, why not, let's go along for, because again, he's still nomadic, and he's still going sort of places, so this is an opportunity that has intrigued him and interests him, and he's gonna hang out.
I love it. So those are the history questions. Now we have 2 connections to establish, and these are to be with one of your 3 other party members. So either Mae, Ling-Hrung, or Haru. And the first one is blank is way too uptight, too trapped in themselves. They need to break some rules. Who do you think would best fit that connection for Teto?
I don't know. I'm open for suggestions on this one. It sucks Monroe is gone, because I totally want to hear some more flavor behind what she's thinking.
Yeah.
Sorry, can I hear the connection one more time before I chime in?
Yeah, so it's blank is way too uptight, too trapped in themselves. They need to break some rules.
I think that's for sure.
You think it's you?
Yeah.
I was gonna say, like, I could maybe see like a military brat, like, depending on how Monroe plays it, if they're like stitched up military.
Yeah, actually, you know what? Maybe that works better, because I don't think I'm gonna be like uptight. It's just won't do certain things a certain way.
I mean, that was the first person I was thinking of as well. And we have a little group chat established between the 5 of us, and so we're definitely going to be texting each other, and we can be texting Monroe and figuring out if that makes more sense for her.
I think it's probably gonna be Monroe or Nick then. Like Nick, what are you
Yeah.
feeling? Like, do you feel like this fits?
I don't think so. I feel like you know what? Maybe it does. I feel like I'm going for like a vibe of like tries to be like very go with the flow, like is trying to do what your character is doing, but is not that. So maybe it works.
Hmm.
I mean, like again, like your character has established a rule for herself.
Yes.
And like, would that carry over to like other things? You know, like again, like would she like eat food with her hands like without washing them? You know?
Oh no, yeah, no. So yeah, a lot of her is going to be very regimented, a very like I got to do things like this because this is the way that you do them.
Oh, it's you.
Yeah, it's I realize now.
There we go.
Definitely me.
So Ling-Hrung is way too uptight. I love it. And the other connection that you must establish is blank is amazing, and I hope they like me. Maybe they're worth playing it straight. So this is sort of a person who like sort of influences you in sort of way where you're like, maybe I should, you know.
What do you think, Justin? Does this fit your character, or is your character?
I do think that I was gonna say too, like the assumption is that we all kind of know each other now a little bit.
Yeah.
Like Haru tries very hard to be good. Like he's not cruel now. Like maybe sometimes his anger and cruelty comes out unexpectedly, but like he tries really hard to do what's right all the time.
My question would be like again, like how like all of this like violence in the past, like is that going to be because it seems like Monroe wants to be, you know, a punchy puncher.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if Haru is like on the same tip, because it sounds like your character has got some, like, again, being a deadly assassin. But what are they showing to the group?
Yeah, to the rest of you. I think so. Like, if there is a spectrum of Mae to Ling-Hrung, Haru's in the middle. It's almost like two principles in and of itself, right? Like he's been trained to be Mae, and he wants to move away from that, but he also knows that the best way for him to protect you and protect himself can't be to do what Ling-Hrung has done. So I think there are times that his anger and his fighting comes out in like violent ways, but he feels incredibly guilty about it whenever it does.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what to put here.
All right, that's fine. I mean, maybe you can choose it after you've spoken with Monroe a little bit in our little group chat. So that's definitely fine as well.
Sorry, I feel like I'm turning in incomplete homework.
No, you're so good. You are good.
Tell me
how good I am. A lot of this is also not really going to be like concrete until we actually
this is just to like set up some connection with each other.
Exactly.
Oh man, I've already started my stick and poke character sheet on my arm.
I remember in our first campaign the connections. I don't even remember the connections I chose for Rozek, and I'm sure they were so different than what ended up happening in the fiction.
To some extent too, like you can just pick someone kind of, and that makes it true. You know what I mean? And then you can work backwards and be like, okay, now that I've picked this person, like, why is that? What about this relationship?
I think, you know, for me, like looking at Haru, like again, like asking the questions, like how do you present out there? Because maybe there's something where, like, you know, you're presenting in this one way, but you're actually like dealing with a lot of stuff that you keep hidden, and maybe there could be a shift there where like Teto is like, oh man, Haru is so great, he's so put together. He does crazy things with sand, and I do, like, you know, we can work it out. It'll be so much fun. And then sand spider snake, and Teto's like, I could never have dreamt that.
Never again. We'll never train with you again.
I love it.
Yeah, I like that.
All right, yeah, I'll put Haru then.
All right.
I think that's interesting too, because he obviously has a problem with people looking up to him.
Because the last person who looks up to you
I
curse
turned into
them with
another
a with a life of
No, Haru, man, we're just bros. It's fine, you know. It's just like we're all on the same level, man.
All right. Speaking of Haru, let's move to Haru's history and connections. So for the first question, no choice. Sorry. So for the first question, we have, why were you chosen to be honed, perfected, and used by your masters?
What firebending politician would ever suspect an earthbending assassin? And as a young child, I was the perfect blank slate for Zoru to craft the ultimate weapon.
I love that. I really like that. Second question, who was the former master you were closest to?
General Cyro was my main handler for many years, and we became really close. And then one day, he just wasn't around, and Zoryu only told me that he was making me soft, and I never had a handler longer for 6 months after that.
Interesting. It definitely seems up Zoryu's alley to do something like that. Third question, who helped give you the will you needed to break with your masters and be something more?
For whatever reason, the mission I told you about, taking the child from the Silong Desert, I think Haru is the name of the famous minstrel.
You switched names.
I think he's going under his name. And so I told Haru, and it was at that moment. I don't know why I told Haru, but Haru said, "I'd like to switch places with you. You need to experience something else and get out of here." So it was that moment, I think, that Haru himself offering that. Yeah.
And then the next question, what totem of your masters can you not bring yourself to throw away?
It's the Kyoshi era, so they didn't have like all the steel yet. Oh, I know. There is how I got messages. One of the ways I got messages from Zoryu for missions specifically, it was by Carrier Hawk. And I have a hawk's whistle.
Okay.
Around my neck.
I like it. A hawk's whistle to mayhaps blow into. All right. Last question. Why are you committed to this group or purpose?
Yeah, I think there's a few things. I think he sees, I even alluded to it, I think he sees Mae, and I think he sees Ling-Hrung, and I think he sees two different ways that he could be free. And so I think there's a sense in which, and like even just the like complete nonchalantness of Teto, like I think there's like something freeing about that as well. So I think he just sees three now. I see him like as a baby, right? Like he grew up in the Fire Nation Palace, literally just going on missions. This is all new to him as well too. He's learned a little bit, but not a lot. So I think he sees three different ways of moving through the world and wants to figure out which one is the best.
Haru, the baby bred to kill.
Something like that.
All
yeah.
right. So now we move on to the connections to establish. The first one is blank seems to be able to connect to other people openly, freely, and easily. I wish they would show me how. This one already seems.
It's got to be Teto. It's got to be Teto.
It's kind of a no-brainer there. And the second one is I see blank as lacking control. Maybe I can help hone them at least a little bit.
And it's Mae.
All right.
Yeah.
I think.
Very-
I think it's very clearly.
That's
May.
fair. That's fair. That's fair. All right. Nick, you ready?
I am right here.
It looks like you are. Nice. Yeah, there we go. So first, history question. What does the world at large know about your tragedy?
Yay! The Fifth Nation is defunct. Yes. Oh my God! The dark shadow of the smiling wolffish and her evil captain is gone forever.
Oh no.
It's celebrated, man. They were pirates. They weren't people.
Oh no. Oh no. All right. Next.
You heard it here
Who was-
first. Pirates
here
aren't
first.
people.
Pirates. Jeez.
The moment you start calling somebody something like that, and
Yeah.
go destroy
Hey.
all of them.
We're here to change that. We're here to change Ling-Hrung's narrative. Second question. Who was there during your tragedy and has shown you only kindness?
The ship's cook, Simon. Her like friend and like advice uncle, I say in quotes. The ship's doctor, Musubi. Her teacher and surrogate father. Yes, I did name him Musubi.
Delicious.
I love it. Now I'm
And you didn't want to make that the cook?
No, it's funnier that way. Because Simon be cooking. And it's a couple who had been together for a long time, even before they were assigned the Smiling Wolffish.
Oh, that's so cute.
They are the ones, and I'm kind of going back. They're like half like fishermen now, and like half like they sell like their fish, like they cook them up. You know, Simon is kind of like cooking them up, and Musubi does like whatever doctor job she can around the village, or he can around the village, and also goes out to fish real early in the morning. So.
And the second question, or the third one rather, who cannot stand the sight of you after your tragedy?
The ship's war master, which is a position I've just made up because it made a lot of sense to me. So in actual, like, you know, classic, like, you know, Aquarius, like combat, you'd have like a gun. I'm sorry, I can't think of the word right now. Aquatic combat. You'd have you'd have like a gun master, right, or like a weapons master. There's just like a difference between that and like quartermaster and the captain, sometimes. But for the Fifth Nation ships, I think it makes a lot of sense to have like a war master who's like making sure that there's stones for the earthbenders, and that there's, you know, coordinating the waterbenders as they throw out giant, you know.
Okay, because I was thinking like a strategist, but it's not much of a strategist, more of like a supervisor almost.
Yeah,
like during
over
battles,
all of the people who are like trying to attack other ships.
I like that.
Yeah, I named him Tai Ching.
Okay.
He blames Ling for not living up to her mother's legacy by claiming victory when she was given her, which is insane. I just want to say that outright so people don't think that's an insane thing for a person to believe. And then he's literally only alive because Ling forced him to quit the fight by destroying the rudder control. Which is also why he really dislikes her.
Yeah, like touched my rudder. All right.
Well, no, it was her rudder. She was acting captain, and in doing that to make the decision final, she destroyed the rudder.
Like, we're not going back. Tai Ching. I love it. I love it. Next, we have what simple keepsake reminds you of what you have lost?
The rudder lever. So if you watch the show, a lot of the Water Nation tribe or Water Tribe like ships have sort of a more classic like sort of like rudder like handle that they use to steer the ships. Cutting that with, you know, some water slices, she has like a piece of it. Like the very end of it that I think has like a little like wolffish carved into it. And so she has that.
Cute. And the very last one, the one that every history question has. Why are you committed to this group or purpose?
She's just been wandering. Tries to help out here or there as like a doctor or a healer. But hasn't really been able to find anything or anyone with which to like anchor herself. obviously still visits Simon and Musubi, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, can't really figure out what her place is. So these people seem pretty cool, seem kind of crazy, but at least they're interesting, and she wants to have more time with them. So we'll see.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. And on to
That's like literally my experience stepping into Dustfire Media.
yes.
They're a little crazy, but I guess I'm here now.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
might as well see where this goes.
having your first campaign being one GM'd by me, it's gonna be an interesting.
Oh yeah, I should say
campaign to
sorry
release
at the
soon.
front. We apologize.
I feel like to do an actual play publicly, there has to be some level of like something's not right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Dude, imagine an actual play where everyone's neurotypical.
Like normal. And, yeah, that's all
That'd
I'm
just be
saying.
boring.
Yeah. Like something's
Yeah.
going on somewhere for somebody at least.
Just the desire to tell stories.
Yes, yes. All right, on to
Um,
the connections for Ling-Hrung. First one we have is blank reminds me of someone I have lost. I have to keep them safe, even from themselves.
I think so either Monroe's character or Justin's character would work for this. I think it's going to be that like sort of pseudo brother I mentioned. Forgot his name. Tolim, who was the ship's quartermaster. I like the idea of making it Haru because it kind of becomes a reflection of the connection you already made between us. Or wait,
I didn't pick a connection.
you didn't pick a connection between us, but I just like the idea of like, well, sorry, connection in that like you see like these two options represented.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, Ling and Mae.
He didn't choose you as a connection. He chose you as one of his principles.
Right, basically.
I mean, essentially, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, Haru reminds me of
All right.
someone I have lost, my brother,
All right.
quote unquote.
Very
Tolim.
sad. Sam was not wrong. This is heavy, y'all. And lastly, we have a lot of pain in these two
My
characters.
character, my playbook is literally the Broken. What did we?
I think
Where do you think we were gonna go?
Broken and the Razor, we've got enough pain to make up for like the lightheartedness that Teto brings.
Yeah.
No, he's
Sam,
bringing the makeup.
Sam, you might have to, in terms of lightheartedness, carry this group a little bit with Teto.
Yeah. But you need that though, right? Like you need the Rens in every group. You need someone like believing and hoping and
I also think again like one of the real appeals for me like of the original Avatar like was the two-dimensional character, like the one that like it didn't need to get super deep, I'm glad that Sokka had like a strategist arc at the end of the series, but I mean for the most part like he was comedic relief. He moved like a certain points forward when other characters weren't able to like articulate them, but like he was literally meat and sarcasm guy, and like that was like the identity. So I think it's okay to have like the limited nature of characters
for sure.
Like one of my favorite like episodes is the Storm from the first season, and my favorite character in that one is like the grouchy fisherman who goes out there.
Very
and like dude is just like absolutely hilarious. There's no character development, but he's like so on point and so funny.
I love it. Yes,
sometimes that's all you need.
Exactly. All right, for the last connection question for Ling-Hrung, blank is walking down a path that leads them to tragedy like mine. I have to deter them or keep them away from those I care about.
I think that has to be Monroe's character.
Yeah.
Sounds very Monroe. Sounds very Mae.
Yeah, and I'm so excited to hear more about Monroe's character. I feel like I would have definitely had time to go over some of the, at least the history
Her
questions
history questions.
in
Yeah, it's
Monroe,
all right.
but we can
We'll get 'em.
we'll get them. Wow. We pretty much covered everything.
Yeah.
Do we get techniques to start, or am
Yes. So you get
crazy? Oh.
your playbooks mastered.
Are
Technique.
we able to swap that out for something else?
I would, yeah. If you want, you can swap out the master technique your playbook comes with a different.
Oh,
technique
now
to
it's okay
master.
to swap things out. What you want to, Justin? Okay, all right, okay. I see. How
No,
it is.
it's in the.
No, it's fine. No, this
It's
is you
in the
made this,
rules.
man. I get it. I'm the new guy. I get it.
I'll just to spite you. I'm gonna keep my playbook move. I'm
No,
gonna keep my playbook.
my guy is all there are no rules, man. There's no rules.
There you
Like,
go.
what's
You're
a
right.
rule?
Stepping
What
into,
you need
stepping into
to?
that character. I love it.
Here's
Um,
my
yeah,
thing though, Danny.
Mhm.
Oh,
Sorry.
sorry.
No. I was gonna defend my hypocrisy, but I will relent.
I wanted to go with healing as
Yeah.
specialization. Could
Yeah.
I get there's only one healing move in like the entirety of
Yeah.
this game. And it's called refresh. Can I have that technique, or do I have to
No.
switch out? Well, okay.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I'm not already like as learned. I'm not even asking for
You
like
start-
practice.
Remember, you start with. two
Don't you get
techniques.
one
You start
learned
with one
technique
at-
too?
You get one at mastered, one at
Learned,
learned.
one master.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
okay,
you
never
get the
mind. Yeah.
one from your playbook mastered, and then you choose
Yeah.
another one to tack on, but that's learned.
Oh, wait,
Yeah.
Okay. I can't believe it.
And yeah, like we said, you are also able to switch out your mastered one with one of the other techniques in your
Fighting style.
training.
Yeah.
Training.
Sorry,
Yeah.
training.
There you go.
Nick, I feel like I'm getting to
Um,
know you. You chose like one of the hardest playbooks, and then you're taking like the hardest angle on this playbook as well.
Yeah.
Like, just, like
I will never.
I'm sorry your
any-
box is so small.
No. I put myself in here. I like it in here.
It's so good. Yeah.
It's safe. It's safe in the box.
It's safe in the box.
The list of techniques that Justin sent us. If you go to waterbending and healing, give me the list. It literally gives you one.
Yeah, it literally. I wasn't joking.
And I think
There is one.
yeah. And I think it
think
makes sense to put it at trained too, because it seems like it's something that you recently
Learned, you
picked
mean?
up, right?
Yeah.
You grew up.
Yeah.
What you know is fighting, but
Mhm.
it's but you want to move away from that, and so I think that makes.
And she
a
has some
ton of
experience, like literally doctoring, because she just kind of got close to the ship's doctor. But yeah, no, the healing. She didn't even know. She very recently kind of like picked that up and realized she had an aptitude for it. So
All right. If Sam or Justin, if you guys already had techniques in mind, we can definitely talk about those. I know I said that.
I know I'm gonna pick quicksand for sure.
should we reveal our playbooks fighting technique if we don't have any ideas?
Oh
for the
yeah,
second one?
if you don't want to switch your playbook starting fighting technique out, then you could definitely say what that is as well.
Yeah, so my playbook one was just watchful protection. Basically, I can just keep you guys in by taking fatigue. You guys go down for literally any reason in this game. I can just be like, nope. And
It's very cool.
it cancels whatever was about to take you out. And I marked 2 fatigue. And
It is very cool. We haven't seen a technique like this ever, like something that can actually bring you back in to the scene if you're taken out
Really excited
or
for
lose your
that.
balance. It's very exciting. So that is very cool. Justin, were you gonna switch out your?
I'm switching it out.
All right. So first, let's hear Sam. Sam, are you gonna keep the rogue's technique?
Yeah, the
Or did you
rogue's
wanna switch
technique
it
is
up?
called sweep the leg. You attack where enemy is weakest or most off balance, and then there's more stats that I don't know. I'm not sure yet.
Yeah.
I think I need to look through
For
the
sure,
airbending moves.
Oh,
And I
that's
think
totally
again,
fine.
like it's one of the things where I'm like, all right, like what again, like this person is still trying to step in line and be a pacifist.
Mhm.
And so again, like it is interesting to it'll be an interesting exercise to sort of justify whatever techniques. I'm leaning towards keeping it.
Yeah. there are also a ton of airbending techniques to choose from. So
All right, I'll throw it in there for now. And if I like find something more appropriate, I'll switch it out. But for right now, it seems fine.
all right, for sure.
Cool.
Justin, you want to talk about techniques at all?
Yeah, my master technique is quicksand, which is turn
Okay.
the earth in an area to quicksand. All foes in the area become impaired. If they don't free themselves by the end of the next exchange, they become trapped. If they don't free themselves by the end of the next exchange after that, they become doomed.
Oh.
And then my learned technique is summon the storm, call up small gravel, dust, and sand, in this case sand, to fill the air around you, swirling grit. Mark 1 fatigue. Everyone else in the area becomes impaired from the swirling dust, and you become empowered for as long as the cloud surrounds you. And it lasts for 4 exchanges. I just imagine him like everyone else can't see, and then he's just firing these sand snake spiders
Yeah.
at people like when
Very
they can't
fun.
see.
It's terrifying.
Is this already the Halloween episode?
Right? That's what I was saying. I was like,
I got you unlocked.
episode, but I don't even need to think of a Halloween episode. We're just gonna have it be Haru centric.
Yeah, just put me in something. Put me in an arena, coach.
All right, y'all. I think that's pretty much it. We made some good time here.
We did, and it took
Yeah.
about as long as I thought it would.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm glad I carved out enough time in our schedules.
Having a buffer time is always good, just in case something dreadful happens. But
When it comes
Yeah.
to like, narrative stuff, like
Hmm?
I could talk so long.
Mhm.
I think we all have that where we
Yeah.
could all talk for so long about these wonderful characters that we've established. But that's pretty much all that we have for y'all today. We've established these characters. We've established the inciting incident. We've sort of crafted that pilot episode. And so all we have left to do is get into that first session and get into the action with these characters. Thank you so much, y'all. This was a lot of fun, and I'm now even more excited to get into this fiction. This is very, very exciting. Justin, did you have anything for the folks at home?
I don't. I mean, this was pre-recorded, I should say, but next
Mhm.
week is the same time, but it will be live at that point.
Mm-hmm.
So we were pre-recorded. That's just so we could do some more of the like campaign setup stuff before we actually go live. But next week, same time, this will be live. What did we decide on for time? Let me just double check that. Looking at my calendar. It is Fridays at 8 to 11 p.m. CST. So we will be 8:30 to probably closer 8:30 to 10:30 probably.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, 8:30 to 10:30 p.m. CSTs on Friday. We will see you next week. All right, y'all. Have a wonderful night.
Yeah.
Bye.
Excited to get into it.
See you later, cat gators.